pressing it.
I mean, it's so big and shiny.
How could you resist? How could anyone resist? Shinies.
I mean, I think Sunrise can resist now. After the last time she went dashing to press the big red button, she lost an eye.
Oof. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like she got blasted with a fraction of the power of the core of the planet, you know?
Nah, no problem.
Okay,
Alright,
just as a
have
note,
bounced back from worse
just as
than
a
that.
note, I'm actually putting us under the permadeath tag now. So if you die, myself included, you're probably dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's a good job I already have my backup character ready to submit to the deck list.
The deck list is real long. I think if I go out, I think I'm probably just gonna be like, bye.
You'd be surprised.
I don't think the
I don't
deck
know.
list is actually that long. I think it's only like 4 or 5.
It's longer than 4 or 5.
It's a lot longer than 4 or 5. Let's see here. The on deck list is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people.
Though we learned last
That's
week.
not that long.
Barring a TPK or two, you know.
Props. You're talking to me. Last time when I ran Only War, Hetty cycled out 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Moon's on deck list is 37.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. But best thing is, the second character cycled out while the first character was still alive. He was just spending months in the med wing because Lenzabe nearly killed half the party with a single rocket launcher.
Lenzabe tends to do that. It's Lenzabe.
At least the second time he got a mass kill like that, it was entirely against the enemy. But yeah, when the game master's insert character has to deflect the shot that's coming at them.
Indeed.
Sounds like a fun time.
Very fun.
Lenzabe's first of 2 hexakills in that campaign.
I get to use my voice meter today. Hooray.
Oh dear, this ought to be interesting.
Hey, it's Falk. Leave me alone.
I forgot we're up against the big scary today. There might actually be some of us dead by the end of this one.
Perfect. Well, I mean, does he get a call in an airstrike after he kills everybody?
I'll attempt to stay in more than one session.
Well, technically against this guy you're safe because you're currently nothing to do with what we're going to get interrogated about.
Actually, yes, you're the safest one out of this group.
For
I
now.
mean, I think he's safer. No, he's safer outside the group currently. Okay, never mind. You're right.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I mean,
I'm good.
I mean, if the big red button's been pressed, then we're already in the pre-stream chatting bullshittery. So
Exactly.
I mean, if the big red button's been pressed, then...
Yep.
I thought I muted.
Indeed, let's do this.
Well, if everyone's ready, I shall mute on up.
We're not quite ready. We're just waiting for the audience to actually get here. So we give them about, a few minutes. Because, we're supposed to start like 15 minutes ago. And we didn't because you guys didn't get here till
I was here.
You were here, like everybody else wasn't. You and Final Set were
Hey,
here.
I was here.
I was on time as well.
Yeah, but you're not a player, Rattle.
On time is 6:45. Or well,
I crawled
5.
out,
Yeah.
I crawled out of bed and managed to get here on time. Thank you very much.
Also, did we really get another Brit Bong in here? Do we have 2 Brit Bongs?
Yeah. Well, we have 2 Brit Bongs, plus Daz, whose accent is a lot better British accent than the 2 Brits.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just verifying that there are now more people in this game that aren't in the US than are.
Excuse you, we're all in Eberron.
Don't you start.
Good point.
We got too many posh motherfuckers in here. I tell you, I'll have to
I
like,
was said that.
I'm talking about Daz up here. The poshest accent.
I'll have to
I
find
was
have
said
to,
that.
like-
I sip my tea.
I'm gonna have to like bring it down with some like, I don't know, deep South accent. I don't know. I gotta figure
One
out.
thing I've noticed is that
I know.
wherever you go on the internet, at least half of the people there will be American.
Yeah, it's true.
Don't worry about it. It's okay. We don't have to worry about our accent, sweetie.
You know,
The problem is
I thought that too for a while, and it's no.
I was originally going to do an accent, but I've completely forgotten how I was doing it.
Where is it?
Where's Bot?
Oh, is everyone ready to begin this heresy?
I thought we were playing Eberron.
We're
We're about
also
to talk to
we're also
Inquisitor.
obvious heretics to the Silver Flame, even though we work for them.
I mean, you guys have done kind of the trifecta, you know, grave robbing. This is the first
That was an accident.
We robbed
Okay.
the grave of a Silver Flame hero, and then the one character,
Accidentally.
the one character who is the most of an anathema to the Silver Flame is the one wielding said sword.
I just want to point out, this is the only time I've ever heard and legitimately not wanted to question someone saying, well, we did commit grave robbing, but that was an accident. That calls them, how is grave robbing an accident?
Listen, you picked up
toll
that
on you,
sword
didn't it?
before you looked up and saw that there were graves above us. So therefore, it is an accident.
Yes, but then afterwards, she still took the sword, even
No,
realizing.
I mean, under that logic, you could be like, you kill some random NPC, and it turns out later they're a bad guy, and you're like, oh, so it wasn't murder, it was saving the world.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah,
Me, baby.
technically, it was no longer in the grave.
He's right. It wasn't in the grave. Therefore, it's like
Yo,
second
that's actually-
grade robbing at best.
It's second degree
You know
grave
what? There's
robbing.
no laws against that.
Did we just invent second degree grave robbing?
Yes.
Hang on, let me check. Hold on. Yes, actually.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Created a new law.
Because according to grave robbing, you're either grave robbing or not. There's no second or third degree. We just invented second degree grave robbing.
Nice.
Camera,
We just
behave.
invented a new
See?
crime.
And
Okay.
because of that, we didn't technically grave rob. We
Yeah.
were technically correct,
technically,
which is the best kind of correct.
Yeah. Also, technically, if you just take the body, it's not grave robbing.
But the thing is,
Well, no, you're
Like,
exhuming the grave at
kidnapping.
that point.
No, because that's how they used to get bodies for autopsies and things back in the old days.
I want to point
here's the
out
thing.
by.
When does this-
Go ahead.
When does it stop being grave robbing and turn into archaeology?
When it's more than a century old.
When you're British.
Fair enough.
No, if you're British, then you're expanding the British culture.
Guys, better not have this conversation when Falk is around. I swear to God.
I mean, that body could have been a century old. We don't know. It was nothing but bones.
That's a start. God damn it. Oh,
Are you sure? Because if this is how we're doing our warm up, are you really sure you're ready to start?
yeah.
Yeah, well, we did manage to scare him away.
Are you
That's
ready to
good.
climax?
Oh, fiddlesticks.
Because I'm not sure you're ready to start. Like,
I mean,
be honest.
technically, our grave robbery all balances out because we also brought somebody back to life. So that's like
which
reverse grave robbery.
is also bad in the eyes of the Silver Flame.
I just want to point out that so far, according to the Silver Flame, we have committed grave robbing, endorsed necromancy, endorsed demonology, and consorted with lycanthropes,
Mm-hmm.
and been grave robbers.
Been grave
Oh,
robbers.
consorting.
We've also
word.
assaulted a member of the Order.
Ex-member of the Order.
Less assault and more attempted murder.
Killed Philip.
No, there's no attempted. No, we didn't actually kill him, did we? No.
No, you didn't.
No, that dude
But
killed Philip.
There's breaking an entry against the guy.
I still have to deal with that.
Did that.
Okay.
But it's
Like
because the
shit,
Inquisitor
still
wants to
doing
talk to
that.
us.
I mean, it might just be me, but we seem more like rapid-fire criminals than heroes at this point.
Nah.
Not
Well,
every
I mean,
D&D
let's
adventure.
let's look at the party. We've got a wizard. Then they're always coin tossers to whether they're good or not. A bona fide rogue. A kobold artificer. I mean, let's face it, kobolds are morally flexible.
I mean-
Props, I can't hear you.
I mean, you know. Euchris is a good soft bean of a boy. Don't you put that evil on him.
I'm waiting for him to
He just
describe.
wants to make enough money to retire and start a toy shop, and also maybe save the world.
I'm waiting for Hetty to get to describing the fighter.
And a demon worshipping bird who is nearly the size of a certain recently unveiled vampire woman.
Yeah, pretty close.
Actually,
I'm gonna go ahead and mute up here.
I think Lady what's her face has Scuda by like a couple
A
inches,
foot.
not by
No.
much.
Scooch, I think, is 8 foot something, and Vampire Lady is 9'6".
Oh god,
Vampire
that's
Lady
counting
has me
the
by
wheels.
15 inches, but Vampire Lady is not as broad, and Vampire Lady lacks the hip.
That's
The question is, does Scooter have the plumage?
Let's give her a hat.
But yes, let's just say
Okay.
until Final Sight's character steps forward, yeah,
Try not to die.
we're kind of leaning more towards chaos than law.
that's pretty traditional. I feel in a D&D party, the
Technically.
chaotic good kind of tends to win out in the end. I feel like.
Technically, I have been completely lawful good most of the time.
You said completely, and then you said most of the time.
Yeah, those are contradictions.
I got an A on that.
Okay, 50% of the time, it works all the time.
I mean, you can always work on the scientific principle, the exception that proves the rule.
Sophia's okay. Good, fine. Okay. Okay. Anyways, I'm good.
All right,
Let's just go.
Go ahead, Daz. Let the audience know what happened last time.
All right. So last time we joined our grave robbing, demon worshipping heroes.
Second degree grave robbing.
Please note that the only part of this that's in quotation marks is the word heroes.
No, let's set this up properly. grave robbing, demon worshipping criminals that work for a religious faith.
Yeah, okay, we'll go for that. So normal.
So normal.
You guys, Garrick, the Knight Templar, Dragonborn, had sent you guys to try and figure out information about what was going on with the undead. You guys met, as you guys, I believe, called him a jackass. That would be Mr. Duke Orator Lanfan Vormop Davgim. You guys decided to scout out his place, which ended up turning into you guys just walking inside of his place after Scuda knocked a guard unconscious and began kicking them under a table for about 5 minutes to keep them unconscious, Mr. Phillip. And you guys proceeded to make a lot of noise when you were inside of there. You went downstairs to the basement, finding out that the Duke was doing some pretty horrible things. As you realized from the noise you guys were making, you guys got his attention. Battle ensued against some zombie skeletal werewolves and the Duke himself. Whereas Mary took a fireball to the face, ended up dying. As it turned out, as you went through, you decided not to kill the Duke. He was going to stand trial for the things that he's done. You guys were able to bring back Mary, as you pleaded with the Templar. He made it very clear that this isn't something that they always do, and it's not happening again. So currently, you guys, if I'm correct, are in the office of Mr. Not the office. You guys are in the temple, and you guys were on your way to head out, and you guys have a day to do whatever you want to recoup before the trial that goes on, where you guys are going to meet with the one aptly named Inquisitor Falk, who there have been some, words about. Some people are familiar with him, specifically Mark and Props have either heard or directly seen what he is capable of. You guys will be testifying in front of him. So that is where we left off. And let's go ahead and do our introductions going down the list here. So let's go with, we're going to have a new player today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Final Sight. This is the first time online streaming, but I've been doing D&D 5e for about 5 years now. It's my go-to system. Yeah.
So you're going to be the min-maxer of the group.
No, because I actively tried to avoid that.
All right. Then we have Hetty.
Hi, I'm Hetty. I play Mark, the rogue that seems to fall down a lot in combat. Hopefully we're going to find that today. Maybe.
I was going to say, that's all up to you guys, whether you guys fight something or not. Kung?
Yes. I am. Yeah, I've been doing this for a few sessions at least. And I'm playing Mary, the wizard who just got resurrected. So I'm calling myself Mary the White, and that is original.
Original to character, do not steal. Props?
I'm Props. I've been playing Euchris for all of 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks now here. This is our 4th, right? And a good time so far. I've been playing 5e and DMing for since it started, basically. So, yeah. Been around a long time. Happy to be playing.
Perfect. Fiora?
Hi, I'm Fiora. I am your resident streamer, Crazy Lady. And I am also the I will be playing Scuda, the dumb one. I guess is the appropriate term.
The literal bird brain.
Yeah, literal bird brain, not just a bird. I am a bird who has a bird brain.
All right. On the bottom down here, we have Cinder Spark, tech person. Whenever something goes wrong that for some reason I break, which happens almost every session, they'll be able to fix. We have DJ Flawless. They do all the sound effects and music you can possibly hear right now. And then next we have Razzle. They do the maps as well as any of rules that pop up that we have questions about. He'll be able to look them up. Also, starting from today, all the maps we're going to be using are using assets from Forgotten Adventures. So if anyone has any questions about that, you can either just ask about it. Anyways, that's where we're going to start. So you guys are in the temple. I have all your things together. It's kind of late in the afternoon, late in the evening. And what are you guys up to? Let's start with Scooter.
Mary's still recovering from being dead, right?
He's tired.
So crushing spine hug would not be good.
Sure, go for it.
He doesn't even give a reaction. Can he even hear me? Oh no,
Go for it.
His camera's frozen. That's what's
Is
going
Mary freezing up?
on. Yeah, his camera's frozen.
I guess the crushing spine hug killed him again, so let's get the Claire.
Man. Rip.
No, in all seriousness, Scooter will check on Mary, and then Scooter's going to go back up to the blacksmith and be like, I am apparently free today. Would you like help?
Oh, in the evening? So it's like kind of later in the evening, so they're probably not going to be.
Then crushing spine hug, followed by being happy that friend isn't actually dead.
Fair enough. I will mention that as you guys are, recommingling, Garrick does kind of walk up.
Awesome. So Garrick walks up and hears Mary's spine pop in places he didn't know he had.
Right. So, there's a bit of business we need to take care of tomorrow morning, perhaps, if that's all right.
That sounds good.
I need you all to pay for the fine for trespassing because Falk will just kill you if you have any type of infraction when you're in his presence.
Oh.
That sounds good.
Okay.
It's not much. It's literally there's 2 gold per person, but we'll do it officially tomorrow.
My gold. No, that's fine. I'm joking.
Scooter kind of scratches the back of her head.
Yes.
I probably should not see him then.
He kind of adjusts the front of his armor a little bit. You've broken the law in Thrain already?
Not Thrain, but other countries?
No, he only cares about the country he's in. That's kind of the awkward thing about him. If you've broken the law in somewhere else, which I still don't think is a good idea, as long as you haven't broken the law in Thrain, he won't do anything to you. That's the awkwardness. Unless you've done something nationally terrible.
Starts sitting there and you can see her putting the memories together and going, no, that all
Mary
happened.
will elbow her.
That all happened outside of Thrain.
He gives you the longest stare and just, oh, what have I done?
Euchris smiles and puts his little hands on his hips, and he says, Euchris is beacon of lawfulness. Euchris has never done anything bad in whole life. Very proud. Except for pickpocketing. But that does not count because they do not need that money.
But
He's already left.
Woo! Lucky break there.
What?
He's already left.
Mark tries to work out if it's still a crime if they haven't been found out about it yet.
Oh God, you guys.
Because I'm still thinking about that sword.
This is how Daz is going to kill all of our characters. His Inquisitor's going to come in with a rap sheet, just like.
Well, on the plus side, Fee scrubbed out the identifying marks on it.
One
Anyway.
of them.
So it's about
Need to
9.
buff out the rest.
I'd say it's about 9:30 at night. So you guys are free to do whatever. You guys still have housing at the tavern, if you'd like.
Mary is probably just gonna pass out because dying is really tiring.
Okay. Well, Mary
It's
passed
hard.
out.
It's hard on the
Mary,
back.
Mary passed
No.
out before.
Dying's easy. Resurrection's the problem.
It's the rigor mortis.
Yeah, Mark's gonna walk up to the bar and just start ordering drinks.
Fancy bit of business you did there, right?
Well, on the plus side, your least favorite customer won't be a customer any longer.
Here, let's go to the tavern for now. Make it easier. Oh, he's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
Nobody likes you. Get out of here.
Oh well, doesn't really matter to me too much.
You're so small, Mark.
Yeah. On the downside, interviews with Inquisitor Folk tomorrow.
Yeah.
The day after.
Yeah, I have to go too, apparently.
Oof. Why are they dragging you in?
Because he spent a lot of time here.
In case you heard something.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And it's not the first time I've seen the Inquisitor.
So people actually survived talking to him?
Sure. You ever talk to me?
You said sure, like I would say sure, the train flies.
Train.
Holds hand up in. I want to argue
Technically,
that point.
The train does, but here's the thing. He knows when you're lying to him. As long as you're honest, he probably won't kill you.
He kind of pulls back part of his little vest a bit, and you see like this black scarred mark all over there.
Huh.
Doesn't mean he won't hurt you.
That's not very nice.
No one could say anything to him the last time someone tried to fight him. It didn't end very well. He ended up killing them. Well, actually, it was in Undere. There was a squad of soldiers who decided to take him on, killed all of them, killed the captain, then killed that entire wing of people in the capital. It's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. You don't mess with him unless you have to. Well,
weird, though.
no, you don't mess with him.
It's weird, though. Like, I don't remember exactly what he did to me to cause the mark, but I remember hearing his cane walking around, like echoes. It's kind of strange.
Yeah, that's the story I've heard.
Anyways, food and drink, free tonight. Don't worry about it.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
He looks at the kobold and gingerly pulls out the other half of the cheese for you. I assume you want the rest of this.
Yes. He does little grabby claws at it.
Oh man.
You are.
You know,
You are-
honestly, I kind of wish I had a better place in town for this thing. This place is expensive. Even with the
This
Duke.
place expensive?
Well, I mean, yeah, the Duke kind of scares everyone away. But now he's not here, I might get more business, but we don't know.
Hopefully, we'll.
I will keep trying to advertise. Chris
Yeah.
points to the outside where there is still a lit up sign that is glowing and stuff like that he put up there using his magical tinkering.
So that was you. Gotcha.
Oh yes.
Okay. Was kind of curious about who was doing that.
I, on the other hand,
You are
will just
welcome.
point people in your direction and leave it at that.
All right. Fair enough. If you have any more questions for me, go for it. Besides that, I'll walk up as soon as you guys are together and done. Just to keep you guys some peace.
Mark's basically going to sit at the bar drinking until he gets appropriately plastered, and then staggers off to bed.
Doesn't take long. This since he kind of knows you guys a little bit, he's actually giving you the actual alcohol, not just the watered down garbage that he's been doing.
Nice.
Oh, Chris, you talk big, complicated things, then hand block of cheese, and you turn into gullible little gnat.
I like
I
cheese.
grew.
It's got a mushroom.
Oh, look at that. Marcus fits right into this scene here. Look at that. You'd never know.
Actually fits in slightly better than the barkeep.
Shut up! Leave me alone.
Sure does. That's great. That's amazing. Look at that.
Right.
Look at that man.
I need water and sunflower seeds.
All right, I can do that for you.
Kind of digs around, gives you what would be water in a place like this, and just a little teeny thing of seed. It looks like it's a mix. It's not like it looks like something you'd put on like bread just to make it have a little bit more texture to it. That's all he really has.
Shrugs. Grabs a loaf of bread too and eats the whole loaf of bread, but you know how a bird eats a loaf of bread, one little crumb at a time.
Takes for
Mark looks across at you, looks back to his drink, looks back across at you, downs the drink and orders the next one.
Yep. So as far as you guys are concerned, unless you're doing anything specific in town, for in the evening, you guys can drink up. As far as how much you've really spent, it's free on the house tonight, so you don't have to worry about anything. So unless there's anything else, you guys can rest for the night. So you want to do anything else before the next day happens?
No. Euchris really wants to rest so he can get his spell slots back and all that stuff.
Health.
Well, everyone will get a full rest, so all your spells and health, everything's going to come back.
All right.
Action surges, all that fun stuff. So, it is the next morning. You guys have the day to yourselves.
At the start of this next long rest, I'm going to swap my goggles of night infusion for another enhanced arcane focus.
Okay.
So Euchris is going to take his goggles back and enchant one of his tools into a enhanced arcane focus.
Okay. Fair enough. You want to do anything else in the morning?
Mary will invent a spell to protect against fire. But having learned this, he's going to start writing all his new spells in the fireproof spell books.
Nice.
Separate.
All right. To transfix those spells, you're going to need to make sure you get enough. You have the paper. You just need to make sure you have the ink for it. So it's going to take, let's see. Gonna take. How much gold are you looking to spend on transfixing everything to the fireproof book? Just all of your spells? That could be
Just
quite-
the 2 I learned on the level up for now.
Oh,
I
that's
really don't have the money to start transcribing all spells yet.
okay. Well, it's fair enough because you just leveled up. You should be able to put at least those spells into the book. But later, I'll go over with you how much gold you have to spend to do all of the spells from one book to another, if that makes sense.
It does.
Okay. Alrighty. Scuda, what are you up to?
It's the next day, and we don't have anything actually planned for the day.
Yep, that's correct. It is a free day before the trial.
We do have one plan. We need to go and speak to our favorite Templar about our crimes.
Oh yeah, you do have to do that sometime today.
Yeah, we do need to do that.
You mean have our Templar speak to his favorite fuck ups? Successful fuck ups.
I mean, we're merely talking about breaking an entry this time. Nothing major.
Oh, I do have a question.
Euchris has a thing he needs to get off his chest to Garrick too. So
I do have a question. The beds here are too small, right? I'm sleeping on the floor.
Either that or you're propping your legs up.
Okay, I'm on the floor. That's fine.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm surprised you're not like pushing like 2 beds in your room together and making like a nest on top.
I would.
Asher
sleeps under the bed, so
if Asher went up there and 2 beds were put together and there were sticks everywhere into a nest, he would...
No, just use the blankets. Just like get all the blankets and turn them into like a nest. Obviously.
Anyway, Scooter's gonna go make sure Mary's actually alive.
Oh, he's currently writing stuff inside of his fireproof book.
Kind of stares at him. Hey, you alive, right?
I think so. This is the worst hangover I've ever had.
Pokes a few times, checks for a pulse, shrugs.
Yes, I am actually alive.
Weird get used to. Dead things stay dead.
I'm surprised as well. I am quite thankful you did what you did. I don't know exactly how you did it, but thank you.
Tell him
I
how he did
didn't
it.
do anything. Was paladin and church.
And do Chris.
I should do something nice for them then.
I'm gonna go pound my emotions out onto metal.
Sounds like a plan. Just please do it out of earshot from me.
Euchris is going to enter Mary's room and bring him a glass of water and go, "Hey, how you doing?"
I've been better, but I've apparently been a lot worse, so that's good.
Good. Drink water, hydrate.
So I was looking
Mary the glass.
You're the best.
To describe Fee sleeping, I was looking for a picture of Big Bird with Big Bird's legs hanging over the end of the bed, and I found that instead. I am not disappointed.
What the? Okay.
What?
Let's continue. Let us continue. About even gonna start. All right.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
You were saying, Mary.
What?
Kind of want one. That's so cool.
Come on, let's get back on track, guys.
I'm sorry.
I'm not sure you want this.
Sorry.
He just shook his head like, oh.
Fair enough. Scuda, you had mentioned that you want to go back to the blacksmith.
Yes, if if everyone else is busy with individual tasks, Scuta's going to go get her emotional conflict about dead thing not staying dead out.
Fair enough. All right, you head back over to the blacksmith. He's helping like 1 or 2 people, as per he was before. He kind of looks over at you and he points at an apron and then points in the back.
She nods.
Already knows.
She nods, goes back there, and what can only be described as you're not sure if the hammer's going to break before she's done or not type pounding. She's working out her emotional conflict.
You know, just because I'm super curious, just roll a raw strength. Okay. It bends.
Wait, this is a wooden shafted hammer.
The hammerhead, the hammer the shaft, or the anvil?
It might break.
Okay.
You just hear him look back. I love look out for the calf there, huh?
Oh, sorry.
I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry.
All right. So you're gonna spend some time there until you guys decide to go to the lawmaster's office. Let's continue going down. Mark, what are you up to?
Mark's gonna have breakfast, and then he's going to seek out Mary.
Mary's in his room.
Hey, Mary. Do you have a bit of time?
Sure. I apparently have time again. Yes. What can I do
Good.
for you, my friend?
Good. I wondered if you could help me with a spell.
Sure. What kind of spell?
Well, it's something I'd heard about, and I think I've been able to recreate. As you know, I've kind of found my spark of magic recently, and the stories of magic users with creatures helping them. And I think I've worked out the spell to summon mine, and I've bought the things I think I need, but I just wondered if you would be okay just making sure I get everything right as I'm going through the ritual.
Absolutely. I was actually thinking I should do the same. How about we do it together?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Do you want to do it now or?
I was thinking of doing it now. I mean, I think I've got all the materials.
Yeah, we might as well. Let's just hope the landlord is okay with us lighting fires inside our rooms. We should probably head outside.
Yeah, let's let's do that. Daz, does the inn have like a courtyard at the back?
No.
Spoil sport. Spoil sport.
It doesn't have one. I'm sorry.
Well, we could probably find some place.
It has an alleyway.
Yeah, there's probably still werewolf blood in it.
Oh,
Fair point.
yeah.
Daz is like, oh yeah, you guys fucked that up.
Yep. I mean, you guys are free to go over there and do it if you like.
Where would you suggest we do this? I mean, I don't know what's proper for these things.
Yeah. Last time I did this, I was in a laboratory, so I just kind of had everything at hand. I mean, sure, we could do it on the street. Let's just put up a sign. That's what we're doing.
I don't know.
Or we could just find some workshop somewhere and just rent space.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so you guys are going to find a place to more or less light your incense and charcoal and be able to go through the aspects of summoning your familiars.
Yes.
Just for my own knowledge, just so I can write it down correctly. Mary, what was your familiar?
I would like it to be a dove, if that's allowed.
A dog?
A white dove.
Oh, dove. Yes, that's fine. Perfectly fine.
A dove.
He's gonna be great. Mark, and what's yours going to be?
We agreed it'd be okay if I had a pseudo dragon.
Yes. In this circumstance, yes, that is correct.
Mary is such a Jim Dark Magic. Anyway.
All
What's
right.
What's your familiar? A pseudo dragon. Okay, that's normal. What's yours? A dove. I'm sorry. What? A dove? Like Noah in the Ark dove? Yeah, like Noah in the Ark dove. Head scratching.
No, next time there's an explosion student, it's just going to flow by artfully.
Next time Colour Spray fucks up, it's just going to be a fan of dove feathers.
What are you up to? Said there's some stuff you wanted to take care of.
Well, I wanted to go talk to Night Templar Garrick, but I know we're all going to be doing that later.
You can do it.
Okay. Well, Euchriz isn't one to kind of mess around. Once he's done with his infusions and getting his tinkering done and resetting the tinkering in front of the shop there, he's gonna go and he'll head right to Night Templar Garrick to talk to him.
All right. You're easily led into the lawmaster's office. They've seen you a couple times, so you're able to go in. But his door is currently closed.
Okay. Euchriz, is Euchriz the type that knocks? Yeah, Euchriz is a knocker for sure. He knocks.
Okay.
He doesn't just barge in.
You hear some papers moving, and eventually, come in.
All right. Euchriz throws open the door and he says, "Hey, boss."
Yes.
He goes and he walks up and he says, "I was just hoping to get things settled with you." Yes.
All right. So he kind of pulls out some papers, shuffling through them a little bit. Trespassing, 2 gold.
Yes, good. Euchriz rummages around in his purse for 2 gold and hands it over.
All right. He'll go ahead and take that.
Track that.
Good. He puts the paper down, stamps it, signs it. Done. Was that everything?
No. Euchriz wanted to talk to you about Necromancer.
Which one?
Yes.
He looks behind you and he's just like, he reaches over to a really long stick and he kind of closes the door behind you.
Oh man, somebody needs to get this guy a wand of mage hand for reals. Okay, anyway.
Proceed. Which one?
Well, you remember we found weird purple crystal in creepy evil dungeon. Yes. Yeah. Made things come back to life. Very scary. Very gross.
Yes, that was in the report. He reaches over and he kind of skims through and he pulls out a paper. As the god said, when the crystal was within proximity of the body, it began to reanimate. Yes. I recall. Yes.
Well, Euchre has been thinking about other necromancer. First one that we met, secret underground, very strange, not very good at job.
I think you mentioned that one. What was his name?
Greg.
Greg. Right.
Yeah. Euchre doesn't quite remember. Wait, Euchre wrote down.
No, I thought
Trevor.
that was Trevor.
Yes,
I
Trevor.
Thought
That
Greg
is it.
was the
Trevor.
skeleton.
Euchre has handy dandy notebook. He's smart. Anyway, he says, yes, Trevor necromancer. Yes. Euchre was thinking back to when we fought Trevor. Very strange name.
Right.
Anyway, during fight, Trevor also had strange purple thing that he pulled out of bag and was, yes, he was threatening with it as if it was important big thing. But then he dropped it and it broke. And Euchre thought that was all there was to it because it broke and Necromancer was terrible at job and nothing bad seemed to happen. But now Euchre is not quite sure.
Do you know what it looked like?
Kind of like crystal purple. Round, orb-ish, like ball.
Anything happened after it broke?
No, that's why Euchre didn't think about it.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit of information, but there might be a correlation between the one that you all found and that one. That's what we're looking at currently.
Trevor was very upset when we broke it. He said something like, "You fools," when it broke, as if it was bad that we broke it. It might be because he liked it, because it was round and purple. Euchre likes round purple things.
I don't remember. Did you guys actually give Garrick the thing, or did you guys keep it?
The
gem?
thing?
I don't think we picked it up.
I
the
don't
gem.
think we even picked it up.
No, I mean the one in Duke's basement.
Oh, yeah. Euchre gave that to him for
Okay,
sure. Yeah, that was like
Just making sure.
dark magic. Like
I know you guys decided to leave the other thing in the cave.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have been looking at it, and it is doing some sort of undead signal of some kind. Undead seem unnaturally attracted to it. But just seeing if there's a way to stop it from doing what it's doing without causing more problems.
maybe, what's his name? Inquisitor Man. Maybe he will know.
No. Yeah, there is one thing I was
No.
considering. I mean, the undead, they're mostly in Shadowcore, right? So, if we can bring the gemstone back there in some way, perhaps we either destroy it and then have to kill all the undead, or we somehow get it back into Shadowcore, and then they just kind of sit there while we send in knights to kill them. I'm not really sure what to do, honestly.
Who lives in Shadowcar? Would that make problems?
The ruins. It's literally just undead.
Oh.
The thing is,
I sent solution by fireball.
technically, the way we tend to do, the undead are resurrected in their semi-frequently, and maybe 4 or 5, and we send some clerics and stuff over there to kill some of them. We do that every few days. But this kind of a horde is a bit unprecedented. We don't know what's been causing them to get resurrected, but apparently maybe that Trevor fellow was the cause. I'm not sure, but he apparently summoned a gigantic dragon, so who knows?
Euchre does not know.
We'll do some more research. We'll definitely show it to the Inquisitor. He's already in town. I don't know where he is, though. He hasn't checked in, so that's worrying.
Probably doing Inquisitor things.
That's what worries me.
In questing.
That's what worries me.
Isn't that his job? Shouldn't you be happy he does job?
Have you ever
Aren't
seen?
you
Have you
on
ever
the same side?
same side? What do you mean?
You fight bad things. He fights bad things. You work together, fight bad things. Yes?
He is an impartial top of law that goes around Corvair. Unfortunately, the problem is he seems keenly aware of laws, no matter where he is, even if the laws are incredibly old and not modern anymore. So there's a
Huh.
lot of times where he will kill people for something that no one even knew was a law.
Did you
But-
know that in wild demon
Suddenly
lands,
Fee
it
is
is
very
illegal to
worried.
cross border with ducks?
Say that
You,
again?
Chris, found that. Did you know that in demon lands, it is illegal to cross border with ducks? You, Chris, did not know.
Right.
Neither did Shipmaster.
Hmm.
Old law, apparently. Maybe Inquisitor like that.
He's aware of those types of laws.
Ah,
He's dangerous, very dangerous, but no one seems to do anything about him.
well, I mean, if Boss is afraid of him, then yes, must be very dangerous.
I've seen him kill quite a few. There was that incident in Undair, and there's one that happened in Brayland. The general was crippled in a dispute.
Oh,
The general
that's
in
not very
a
nice.
yes, the general himself in a meeting accidentally knocked over a chalice of wine. Apparently, that was punishable by crippling, law-wise.
Wow.
So you need to be very keenly aware of specific things, and that's why I'm a little bit worried that you all are going to have to, well, not necessarily testify. You're going to go in front of him and tell him what happened, what you were doing there, and he'll eke out punishments as he sees fit. But he should know that you all solve the problem, so hopefully there'll be some clemency in that regard.
Yes, hopefully. I mean, we haven't solved problem yet. There's still undead horde outside, but I mean, at least we know what brought it and maybe can stop it or handle it.
That's
mean-
very true. But beyond that, the trial tomorrow will be interesting.
We have enough evidence, right, to put the Duke away. Yes.
He's not going to be put away. I know what's going to happen to him. He's going to be killed, especially. Yes, he's going to be killed. It's just that how badly the killing is dependent on all the evidence you all show forward.
Does he get trial? Or is that how this works?
We'll be inside a trial court, if that's what you mean.
That sounds right. I do
But
not know how trials work.
here's the thing. From our accounts specifically, his actions caused one of your own to die, even if they were brought back, and two, a guard is dead.
Oh, yes, I do not like him. I hope he dies. So, not so bad. Just saying,
Right.
making sure we don't need more evidence. We don't need to go back and, I think word is case the place.
No, trust me, we already have guards in there, though I expect that's where Folk is currently.
I'm just watching Hetty die in the corner of my screen here.
But, look, if you do see him today, you don't look like you've done anything wrong. I hope you haven't.
I'm very innocent, Kobold. Some say cute.
All right. So you should be fine, hopefully. Anyways,
You, Chris, will use cuteness to absolute advantage if necessary. I am not beneath this.
I don't think cuteness works for him. But all right then.
Oh no.
Anyways, you'll know if he's around by the tapping of his cane. He likes anyone around to know he's coming.
Okay. I listen. I listen good. Thank you, boss. I gotta go and check in on Mary and Mark now. Make sure they
Also
haven't
note,
exploded anything.
I would also note he has a habit. He draws his blade quite frequently. It does not mean he is trying to attack you. I don't know why he does it. It might be a habit.
That sounds extremely dramatic.
Sure. Anyways, good luck. I'll wait for the rest of your friends to come here and pay their 2 gold so I can make sure that they're not guilty of anything when they come in front of the guy who literally kills people for being guilty for anything.
I will remind. Yes.
Good. All right.
Chris does a salute and then scampers out the door. Bye, boss.
He doesn't know what to do.
So Daz, what does Garrick think of his new pet?
Listen, Euchris gets to work for a dragon. He's very pleased.
On one end, Garrick's just like, this is ridiculous. The other end, he's like, well, the kobold will get things done. So
I mean, maybe. Depending upon your definition.
He's about the only one of the party you can expect to be straightforward with him 99% of the time.
Euchris thinks that lying to dragons is a crime, so...
Garrick needs to start carrying pocket cheese.
Yeah, pocket cheese. Just a little shredded cheese he sprinkles for Euchris. Okay.
Scooter, do you know how long you're going to be spending in the blacksmith today?
All morning?
I can't hear you.
You're muted.
All morning?
Okay. Go ahead and do your smithing tools check for me. Just to see how well you're doing with it. Stress smithing, I guess is what we're calling it. Oh,
Apparently pretty decent.
Nice.
well, I mean, on the plus side, you just made your fees for for the trespassing. So you've made about 4 gold in the morning that you've been working. So about half of that's going to go to the half of that's going to go toward your fee, and the rest of it's in your pocket.
That's nice.
I mean, that's a 25. You're doing good. The smith is getting worried that he's going to lose his job.
Scooter's going to look at him when she finishes about lunchtime. I am sorry that I'm only going to be here for a little while.
Right. No problem. It's all right. Yeah, sure.
Are you upset?
Oh, no. Just busy, love. Just busy.
Scratches head, shrugs, finishes working. Now I have to go see Paladin. Ugh.
Okay. Is anyone else going to head over to the Lawmaster's office?
I mean, I'd head over once we've done the summon familiar ritual.
Okay. That one doesn't take too long. I mean, it takes an hour.
I think it's an hour.
But it does go off without a hitch. You guys don't have any issues. Again, it takes an hour, and it does use the materials that you guys had gotten previously. So, yep. You have a Pseudo Dragon, and Mary, you have your doves that I'm pretty sure are going to involve a top hat somewhere.
Yeah, probably. It's a hat.
Perfect. So you guys are heading over. Go ahead and continue.
Yeah, like I say, once we've summoned our familiars and gotten to know them. Yeah, heading over to Garrick's office. This is gonna be fun.
Well, I see which mage likes me and which one likes Chris.
Get it? One has a bird, one has a lizard.
Yes, yes.
Oh man. All right, so all three of you, just because of how the timing works, are heading into the office. His door is closed, as per usual.
Okay. Thonk, thonk, thonk.
Come in, Scooter.
Opens door. How did you know it was me?
You are physically stronger than the guards around this post.
Oh. I suppose that would do it.
Cat.
All right, then. So, all three of you in here, before we do anything else, I'll need 2 gold from each of you for trespassing.
So that's
We'll
4 gold for blacksmithing, 2
we'll
gold
take
back.
the 2 gold out of his purse and lightly place it on the desk.
All right, so all three of you remove gold from your person.
Mary will pay for. Since Mark was quicker, he's gonna pay for himself, Scooter, and you, Chris.
Oh, Eucrid's already paid for his.
Well, he's gonna pay for himself and Scooter then.
Okay.
Scooter goes to count 20 silver pieces, stops, looks over and goes, "Who put extra gold on table?"
Interesting. Well, at least we all know your accomplices. So there. Anyways, so then, that's all I really needed from any of you. Anything you want to ask me while we wait for the trial tomorrow?
So,
Well,
he only care about crimes committed in Thrain, not crimes committed in Drogan, right?
That's the second time I've been asked that question. Yes.
Who else asked about Drogam? Who is from Monster Country? Thinks about it. Oh. Okay, I know who.
Yes. He only cares what you're guilty of in the country that you are in. He kind of puts up his claw a bit. Just for my own information, would you be willing to tell me what your deal is?
What you mean deal?
I'm trying to say this without saying the word crime. What did you do in Droam? Again, you don't have to tell me. I mean, I'm curious.
Oh, well, if we are in office and it doesn't leave room and I am among, she looks to her to her accomplices. I am escaped slave.
Oh. That's not really against the law here.
It involved murder.
Didn't need to tell me that part. Okay.
You ask, I tell.
Right. Okay. I don't know how laws in Droam work, but you're making this difficult for me.
You could just tell me not show up.
You have to, because if not, he'll look for you. So, all right. As far as I understand, slavery is not. I'm just going to say that. No, I'm not even going to go in this. I'm just going to. No. I'm not even going to go there.
You hired us.
Yes, I know. So, you're an escaped slave. Slaving is not legal here and many places, so I can't really hold you accountable for that. Okay, then. Mark, what did you do? I'm going to assume all of you have done something terrible.
That's
Um,
maybe presumptuous.
in my case, not some. Well, within these borders, not something terrible.
Is it something? Oh no! All right. So what do you do? He kind of puts his claws
as
to the side of his head, just thinking.
as I think you suspect, I was economical with certain truths when we spoke before.
Not really. I kind of took most of what you said at face value.
Okay, something I withheld to save face, and as much as I hate to admit these things publicly, given who we're going to speak to, this is one of the few times I think just being straight honest is the safest policy. So, when we were fighting the necromancer Trevor, he pulled a crystal or glass orb from his pocket and tried to threaten us with it.
Right. The kobold
Within
told me about that.
Okay. So did he tell you that within it was some kind of heart, I think it was?
No, he just said it was a crystal thing that broke and nothing happened.
I guess Chris didn't see then. When it broke, it released something. I don't know what, but within moments, the heart had become a shriveled, desiccated mass. And then we get to the surface and find, oh look, there's zombies everywhere.
I see. So
Yeah,
that
you,
might.
Chris, totally didn't see that. So
Yeah. All right then. So you're telling me that this item that this necromancer had, it broke and released all the energy inside of it, which might have been the cause for the hole to get popped up.
That would be my assumption. I don't know anything about necromancy, so I can't confirm that. But given how Trevor went off calling us fools for breaking it, I strongly suspect the two are related.
Hmm. Well, I mean, as far as
I
I'm concerned, even with me, um, that isn't something that you did on purpose. You were killing a necromancer.
I
No, but I withheld information from your investigation knowingly,
I
willingly.
strongly suspect that Trevor is dumb necromancer.
Yes, Trevor was dumb necromancer, but he still managed to raise skeletons and managed to get hold of powerful artifacts and managed to make a dragon skeleton twitch.
But he wrote spell animate Greg.
As they say, even get lucky. Even broken clocks are right twice a day.
Like I say, the crime I am admitting to is not what we did down in those tunnels. It's that I withheld information from you.
Hmm. Well, given the circumstances, I think that's fine. You're letting me know now, and now that we know that, we might be able to work a little bit with that crystal that you did find and give to me. At least we know what they're attracted to, and if we know that, it might be something we can do.
Okay.
All right, well, I appreciate that information. All right, Mary, have you done anything terrible?
Like, stands to actually think about it. I don't think so. I mean, there was the break in, but we just covered that. And
Right.
other than that, I have
Um,
never committed a serious crime. I have a few public misdemeanors, like being drunk in public and that sort of thing. But that was when I was younger.
Oh, I mean, all right, cool. Good. So the one of you that died was the one who did the least bad things. Perfect. All right. Well, Isn't that just how the world works? All right, then. Well, I don't really have anything else. I recommend coming early tomorrow morning to the trial chamber. It's 2 buildings over. There'll be a few others in there as either witnesses or what have you, but mainly we're going in there. You'll see the Duke, and I'll be there to make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. His hands have been shackled, so he can't do any of his magic. His book's, well, missing. Don't know where that went, really.
Mark will visibly cock his head at that one.
Yeah,
I mean-
Mary.
His what missing?
His book. Spell book. But that's fine. Must have been. I know you all fought him, so maybe it got destroyed when you were hacking his leg off. I'm not sure. So, anyways, that's all
Scratches.
Hmm?
Scratch his head. Maybe Kobo have 5-finger discount?
He kind of brings his claws up and kind of rubs his temples a bit. All right.
I can't imagine him doing that and then not getting all excited at doing that.
Right. All right. Well, I'll see all of you tomorrow. However, there's going to be a bit of a. Well, if everyone survives tomorrow, and if you want to continue working for the Silver Flame, I have a job for all of you. If you would like. Pays pretty well. Not as. I assume it won't be as dangerous as dealing with the Duke and his whatever the hell he's been doing.
Ooh,
So,
out of character, did we get paid for the Duke job?
not yet. Nope.
Okay.
But, yes. If you all wish to do that, I can tell you right now that the pay would be 1,000 gold each for the job. One of our silver mines has gone quiet up north, and we need someone capable to go in there. And all of you just got done killing about 4 werewolves, demon werewolves, and a wizard. So I assume you all are very capable.
Yeah, because that went so well last time.
I mean,
Right. Anyways, if that's something you want to do, we have stuff that we can do to make you get there reasonably quickly. Free passes on the lightning rail, for one. Though there's going to be a caveat to it.
There always is.
Yes. The caveat would be one, you'll be on the same lightning rail that Volk is going to be traveling on. 2, we need to send one of our own with you. A Mr. He kind of goes through his papers and kind of flips through. A Mr. Connor. He's going to be assisting you all as a member of our so we have some of our eyes over there to make sure that anything that's done over there is privy to what's going on. But if that sounds good, just let me know. Anyways, if there's nothing else, you all are free to go. As far as I understand, you haven't broken any laws here in Thrain that you haven't paid for, so please don't do anything else.
Mark will sort of nod in a almost borderline kind of micro bow and turn around.
Okay. Let's while you guys are doing that, let's switch back to props or Chris. What are you up to?
Euchris was ostensibly with all of them during that because I said that I was going back to meet up with Mary and Mark and make sure they didn't blow themselves up in the process of testing new spells.
Okay,
So,
I'll say for brevity's sake, you probably came in when they started talking about the job, but you guys are all heading out now.
sure.
Right, you guys have the rest of the day. It's about 2 in the afternoon. You guys can do whatever you want for the day. Let's. I guess I'll just go down the list. Mark, anything you want to do for the evening or for the afternoon?
Mark. Hmm. Mark kind of wants to find out more about his pseudo dragon.
Okay. How are you gonna do that?
Well, I guess first off, practicing to sort of summon it. If I remember right, that's just a command, isn't it?
Yep. As far as it's already been summoned, so you summon it. All of you guys just kind of see this like little teeny-ish dragon just kind of appear in front of him. It's very small.
Ukris freaks out. Not in like a bad way, but in like a delighted way. He goes, "Oh!"
Chris, calm down.
Like we got like a Pinkie Pie tear gasp happening here. Utter delight. Ukris scrabbles into his bags and pulls out a piece of the cheese wheel and offers it to the pseudo dragon.
It'll take it. It's now holding
Ukris-
on to a very small piece of cheese.
Oh, Ukris gives the rest of the cheese to Mark and says, "Mark, bond with your new friend."
That's why he's here.
Yes, you feed him cheese now.
Is Ukras okay?
No, I am amazing.
Very good, yeah.
Look at him. Look at that absolute lad.
Yeah, it's basically a very teeny dragon with a little bit of a scorpion tail on the very end of it.
Chat, you're gonna lose your mind when you see this little dragon.
Yours looks a lot scarier than mine.
Well, I've only got that because of the technicality that, as a familiar, it works differently to an actual pseudo dragon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Mark will grab a drink from the bar and sit down at a table with the pseudo dragon and ask it its name.
Ukris is like at the edge of the table, like this, just like staring.
Oh no!
It is there. Hold on.
I have provided the appropriate Pinkie Pie meme
Excellent.
Where?
in memes.
Oh, right.
Yes. Probably.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay.
Yes.
The pseudo dragon is kind of sitting there as you're drinking. It's holding the cheese, not doing anything with the cheese. And you ask it its name, kind of cocks its head a bit, and it gives you a confused emotion because it doesn't say anything. It just goes,
Oh, I think we've got to have a name for you. I mean, it's not like you're something stupid or anything. So, you, Chris,
Yes.
you got any suggestions for a name for our new friend here?
Ukis
It
gets
is.
to name a dragon. Oh man.
It is tiny, it is tiny dragon, so it deserves tiny dragon name. What is good name?
Gouda.
No, that's the cheese it's carrying.
Call it Wensleydale.
Why not call it Ralph?
Ralph?
No.
What? He wrecked Chris's ability to think. Ralph.
How about we summons the pigeon? How about we name this one Ralph? Just puts a pigeon
You
as a
know,
thing.
this pigeon looks like a Ralph.
Okay.
I think it's only right
Yes.
that the bird gets to name the bird.
Is this how this works? Do dragon-like things get to name dragons and bird-like things get to name birds?
Yeah. What do you say, Mark?
Well, I figure Euchris is the most knowledgeable on dragons here, so I thought Euchris might be able to come up with a good dragon name for our for my new friend.
Euchris wants to get the measure of this dragon. What does this dragon strike Euchris as? Can I roll insight to try to get a measure of this dragon's personality, perhaps, or its regalness?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Insight 3. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Okay. Let's find out. Your keen insight as you stare at this dragon holding a small block of cheese, looking at all of you incredibly confused. It looks like it's very fierce in every way. The fiercest and most, selfless of all dragons. It's amazing.
Yes.
Apparently,
I know your pseudo.
The chat suggests we call him Smallug.
Instead of smog.
Small og. Oh no. I like fluffy. That's great.
Very average.
Yes.
They also suggest that we call the dove Archimedes.
Nice.
Actually, no, that does sound like
maybe.
a good. That does sound like a name a wizard would give it.
That is fair enough.
Well, I mean, it would be more thematic to name it Icarus because it flew too close to the sun. Fireball is probably going to kill
Oh!
And painful.
it. Anyway,
That's clever. I like that.
so what do you want to name the little dragon thing?
It is Universal Chifax. This means the great and powerful Chifax.
So, needs to be something easy to say.
I mean, if you want to shorten down Chifax, just call it Cheese.
Cheese facts.
She's the dragon.
Cheese.
I may have tried to translate Chifundo into Draconic.
Damn it. Oh my god.
Oh dear.
So come on.
He's just like, no, we're not having another Chifundo in here.
All right. So
What
what are we naming this dragon?
You know what?
Well,
just to
Genu
spite-
means great, and Vercel means powerful. So
just to spite Fee, I'm going to call it Mercy.
Mercy.
Chifundo is, I forget which language it is. I forget which language it is, but Chifundo means mercy in that language.
Okay. Well, Fee's gone.
Fee's noped. Fee just noped.
ooh, mercy in Draconic is killeth.
You know what?
Kilith. Killeth.
Okay. So it's
That's a good name.
Yeah, it's Mercy or Killeth. Okay. Go for it.
Nice.
So spell that again.
Kilith. Killeth.
All right. While you guys are doing this,
Euchris in Draconic means talkative.
oh, you don't say.
I thought I was one that was hard to make be quiet, but you?
Speaking of which, Scooter, can you do a perception for me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Off in a distance. Yeah, as everyone's having this, you're kind of sitting off to the side, just kind of, or standing, because chairs are too small for you, usually. You hear the sound of a from far away, like a tapping sound.
Oh, fuck.
It's an echoing, like, tapping sound.
Slowly turns head and tilts in the direction of tapping.
It's outside. It's pretty far away, but it's very audible. Second, gotta refresh. You hear a lot of doors closing. Like, you hear a and then slam.
Inquisitor's here.
That's amazing.
Oh dear.
Looks at the barkeep. Early closing?
Euchris turns off his signs.
Yes, you guys are all now able to hear the as it kind of echoes throughout everywhere.
Oh, that's so intimidating.
Yeah, don't say.
Very important. Garrick, when we spoke, he talked of Inquisitor and said he likes to draw sword a lot. Just swing sword. Doesn't mean anything, though. Oh, but he might kill you sometimes. But mostly, no. But sometimes, maybe.
If he swings sword at me, I cut off hand.
Don't.
Let's
Probably.
not get hasty.
He likes to draw sword. If he draws sword, it does not mean anything until he swings.
Yeah, that's
Euchris feels like maybe he has flair for dramatic.
I can respect that.
Yes.
So, what are our escape plans?
Don't escape from this man. You buy yourself a little bit of time.
Find border to cross where breaking into Noble's house is not illegal.
Look, we've paid our price for that. We're not guilty of it anymore. We are safe, mostly, I think. I don't know. Scooter, did you admit to the sword?
Didn't they say he could tell lies?
They didn't ask about sword.
You guys suddenly hear it start to rain, and the light fixtures inside of the tavern just start to flicker quite a bit.
They didn't ask about sword.
Euchris reaches out to one of the nearest mugs, and he puts a magic tinker on it so it emits light.
And
takes out the gas so it doesn't set fire to anything.
I don't believe secondhand grave robbing is crime. I thought I had to be the one to break into grave, not find sword later.
I mean, we could say we were just trying to bring it back to its rightful place. Which we actually
Except
were.
that would be a lie because we have no intent of returning that sword.
I not lie. I found sword in deep dark cavern near Necromancer. Kept sword. Been useful to kill Necromancer and Necromancer minions.
I mean, when you really think about it, we did bring it back to where it is supposed to be, with Silver Hand, who we now work for.
Indeed.
After a while, you guys hear a knock at the tavern door. Just
Why would Inquisitor come here, of all places? Not
'Cause
go...
Do you need room?
Because for 5 of his, well, looks across to the barkeep. Did you say he wanted to speak to you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe because 5 people he wants to speak to are sat in this room right now.
oh.
I mean, maybe
Okay,
he
that
wants a
makes
room.
more sense.
I mean, what
Maybe-
is worst case? We get in bar fight with Inquisitor.
he
That is worst case.
barkeep.
That would be a very short fight.
The barkeep will get up and he will make his way over to the door. The door, he opens it very slightly, just, and he kind of looks out, kind of looks back at you guys. I'll be right back. And he leaves.
Oh, maybe it not Inquisitor. Maybe it
True worse.
Barkeep's wife? Does Barkeep have wife?
I mean,
Icarus
some
never asked.
we might.
Big question.
I wonder if Ash has wife.
Is anyone going to listen in?
Mark's curious enough to sneak up to the door and try and listen through the door.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception.
Always expect the
Actually-
road.
Actually, first I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, okay.
Because you are attempting to listen on the Inquisitor's personal conversation. Okay. You feel when you get to the door and begin to listen, you immediately get this feeling that something's in your mind, but you shake it off. So go ahead and do a perception to listen into the conversation.
Blimey. Okay.
Oh, okay. Somehow you got higher than Scoota's crit.
I'm a rogue. This is the kind of thing that I'm supposed to be good at.
All right. So the part of the conversation you hear is you hear the barkeep.
Yeah, he comes in every morning. It's not really against the law, right, for him to come in here. Right?
And you hear the Inquisitor. You've never heard his voice before, but it's definitely a bit of an odd voice if you can put your finger to it.
Okay.
No, it is not illegal. However, are the ones inside of your establishment trustworthy?
Well,
expedient.
That level of hesitation.
They were hired by the Templars, so I legally have to put them up here. So I can't really say no, right? Fair enough.
I feel suddenly offended.
I know.
You will give me a list of every single place and time he was there and who he spoke to. Or you'll end up in a grave. Your choice. Goodbye. Right.
door opens. Looks at you, Mark.
What are you doing?
You don't want an answer to that. And go sit back down.
Okay, then that was fun. I have some paperwork to do. Well, they get together now.
Are you all right? You look like you see angry ghost.
Sure. It's not every day the Inquisitor comes knocking and something bad doesn't happen.
Oh dear.
Sounds like good reason for celebration.
Sure.
You think something bad is going to happen?
Well, I mean,
The Inquisitor's involved.
I don't like talking with that guy. Gives me the creeps.
Mark will nod.
Anyways, I'm gonna go make some food. It's kind of to the back room. Anyways, so you guys have the evening, do whatever you like until tomorrow, which is the trial day. Is there anything else you'd like to accomplish? Also, point of phrase. I know it's been about 2 weeks since we last played, but do you guys remember what you got from the Duke? You guys did get a couple things from him.
Define what we got.
You got the
Things
25
from
gold.
him?
He had a wand on him, a platinum card, and his tome.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that we looted him.
Yeah, you guys totally looted him.
How do you forget
who did
things
that?
like that? 5 claw discount, Chris.
I didn't. First of all, I have never stolen a thing, and second of all, I didn't loot him, so I don't have any of those things on my person.
Scooter, you're the one.
So
who
I don't know.
Right,
Aha!
I actually have his tome.
Yep, you have
Hello, pot, meat, kettle.
Very much in
Hello,
that case,
pot,
'cause you-
meat, kettle. I'm Bird.
Hello, bird,
dear.
meat, kobold.
So it's
Here's the rogue. Here's the actual rogue sat in the corner, like, I didn't do it.
it's at this point Skuda hands Ukriz the tome. Here.
What?
Mark will visibly face palm out. You can hear it.
What is this?
It is tome of dog
It's
ass
unpronounceable.
of dog ass asshole unpronounceable incomprehensible stupid.
Oh, hang on. You mean Orator Lamphim Vormarv Dolphin? Yes, that guy.
Yes. Oracle Dolphin Man.
Yes.
That's not correct.
Why do you have this?
I took off body.
Why didn't you give it to the boss?
Oh dear.
Shrugs. I
anything?
didn't know if we wanted to look at it first.
Anything else?
And also points at Mary. Points at Mark. He told me to keep it close.
Oh,
What?
Yeah,
well, if Mark knows,
you told me.
if Mark said that, Mark knows good things.
After
about
I took
things
things
like
off,
this.
after I took things off Oracle Dolphin Man, you said make sure keep close, don't lose. So I didn't lose.
I don't. Okay, I'll take your word on that one.
Euchris opens the book.
Okay. It is definitely a wizard spell tome.
Oh. Euchris flips it around and shows it to Mary and Mark and goes, "Look, spells."
Point of
Ooh.
phrase. It's not upside down, so this guy actually knows what he's doing.
Yes.
He knows how to transcribe a spell.
Nice.
It is a normal spell book. It has couple cantrips in there, some spells from level 1 to level 3. it's a pretty nicely kept book.
What are the second and third level spells out of general curiosity?
I'll have to go over that like after the session because I have to make sure it's all rolled up correctly because I didn't know
Okay.
if you guys wanted to keep the book or give it as evidence, so I didn't.
Are
I didn't fully write it up.
are any of them undead summoning spells?
It looks like he was working on his own type of spell.
Okay.
It's necromantic in nature, but you've never seen this spell before.
Is it complete or is it incomplete?
It's incomplete.
Ooh. Okay, so that's not illegal to have an incomplete necromancy spell, as far as I know. Sure.
I
right?
think you might
It's
be
all
treading on a
theoretical.
technicality.
You're withholding evidence as well.
There's
Yeah,
that.
it's theoretical, right?
No, but that is evidence that we should have handed over.
Yes.
I
It's true.
mean,
Even ask for it.
we can look at now and then go give it to Bossman now. I'm sure he won't mind receiving late.
He probably will mind a little, but that's probably our best bet.
What about anything else?
Oh yeah, she drops a bag of gold on the counter.
Okay.
25.
Nothing illegal about
something
gold.
else.
Puts his rapier on the counter.
Oh.
What didn't you
Nice.
steal?
Anything else? I'm pretty sure there was.
She thinks about it, opens her pack, starts shuffling through. What was the last thing?
There is a platinum
A
card
wand?
and a wand.
She pulls out Trevor's leg and goes, nope. And then pulls out the wand and goes, yep. And then reaches through there, pulls out Trevor's arm and goes, nope. And then pulls out the platinum card, yep.
Okay, so on
So
the
it's
table,
just everything just covered in congealed blood.
No, she
No,
keeps-
the body parts are very carefully wrapped in order to make sure that they can't grow back a new necromancer.
The body parts are very carefully wrapped and salted and peppered so that they're preserved, kind of like a sausage.
Peppered?
Peppered!
Salted, okay. Peppered?
Weird.
Scooter,
yeah.
are you hungry?
So,
Do we need
on
to
the
feed you more?
That's
on the table, you guys see a rapier, a wand, a platinum card, a small bag of gold, and you guys are already looking through the wizard tome.
All right.
carrying around a half-finished necromancy spells and body parts is probably not a good plan.
Like a combination, no.
Uh,
At least,
please-
at least if I remember right, she's buried the head already.
Yes, I buried the head and I threw the torso in the moat.
So
Yes.
it's just limbs. It's not even like you can make a body out of that.
It's
Oh,
As
still a
far
very-
as Nucris is concerned,
Yeah.
Scooda is being a conscientious and dutiful citizen by making sure that Necromancer cannot grow back from detached limbs.
I'm looking
This
at
is
her
how
chest
necromancers work, right?
expression right now.
Yes, from that angle.
Oh
We should probably take one of the body parts and just give that to the nearest church to tell them to dispose of it.
I'm looking
Yes.
at Dennis's expression right now. And he's like, who are these lunatics?
This is not looking good for us.
Listen, we're not the ones carrying around the dead body parts. We're just trying to save your tail feathers.
okay.
So yeah, while they're poking at spell books, Mark's going to take a closer look at the rapier.
It's nicely made. There's nothing really special about it as far as any type of aura or anything or any special material. It's just very nicely made.
Okay.
Anything else you guys want?
I'm going to ritual cast detect magic to see if I can't figure out if any of these items are magical here. I mean, obviously the spell tome is, so I'm looking at the card, the rapier, and the wand.
Okay. You complete your spell, and the wand is definitely magical. It has a variation of magical auras. It looks like whenever the thing is used, its aura will shift slightly.
Oh.
The
Okay.
platinum card is also magical.
Huh.
It is a type of a conjuration type magic.
Conjuration. Interesting. Okay.
It's literally a bank card.
And the rapier, not at all. It's not magical at all. It just looks nice. The guy spent the extra money to make it look nice. As
Nice.
good.
Like a masterworky kind of thing or
It's
something.
not really masterwork. It's just like the
It's
pommel
nice.
looks like yeah, the pommel looks like it has like roses like
It's
enrolled
it,
inside of
it,
it.
it's bejazzled.
Yes.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, the wand looks pretty magical. It looks really nice, and you've never really seen a wand that seemingly has a way of shifting what it does. So the wand is definitely interesting, and same with the platinum card.
So, out of character, I'm kind of concerned that we're carrying around a wand of wonders right now, which would be super cool because that's the
That's exactly
the
what it is.
random-
Holy crap.
that's the random thing. But yeah, it's the only one that would do that, where it has a whole bunch of different weird magical effects. But in character, Euchris doesn't know this, although Euchris might have heard of it. Can I roll something to try?
Just go what?
I mean, Eucharist gets first crack, but then Mary will ask if he can try to.
So
Yeah.
just knowledge arcana? Yeah, just knowledge arcana.
Okay. I push a button. It's a 12. Yeah.
You've heard of weird wands, not necessarily what this one does.
Yeah, Euchris is like weird wand, many different spell types, many different schools. Mary, what do you think?
Well, he takes it and goes like, "Let's see if it works." And he just swings it, and it sprays sparks and makes a kind of like crackling noise. Minor illusion, by the way. So yeah, it seems to work.
No, wait, you're using the wand?
If I'm allowed to, just as an arcane focus.
This specific wand requires attunement to use. You'd have to.
Okay, forget the thing about the sparks. He'll just go, "Oh, it doesn't seem to work."
Do you want to attune to it and then try to use it in an hour?
I don't think we have that kind of time right now.
I mean, you guys have all afternoon.
I'm
I'll
going to
get
suggest
One
back to
short
we
rest.
because we were
don't start.
talking about going and handing this stuff in. So
I'm going to suggest we don't investigate what the wand is by randomly just trying to cast
Pointing it.
from it, because
Fireball.
I've got visions of fireball, meteor strikes, or what the fuck ever going off at the minute.
Mary, because you're holding it, you can make a knowledge arcana to look at it. That's 25. Yep. You have heard of this
Nice.
one before. As you look at it, there's specific engravings. This is known as the Wand of Wonder. It is a very special wand. It does a myriad of things when you point it at people and different types of things. Every day, it can regain some of its charges, so it's very unique in that aspect. Or sometimes in the morning, it'll just disappear. It's a very powerful wand.
Yeah.
If it works.
And it does something different almost every time you cast it. It's super
Yep.
cool.
that's interesting.
That's one of my
Very-
favorite early game wands. So cool.
You know, taking a closer look at this, I probably should not have done what I just tried to do. I have no idea what happened, actually.
You know, Mary, I think we're going to have to work on your sense of self-preservation.
What?
He has sense self-preservation. He stood in front of Fireball like deer stands in front of lantern.
Like I say, I think we're going to have to work on it a little.
Perfect. Is there anything else you guys would like to do for the evening?
Do you want me go?
I'm-
Do you want me go take book to boss man?
I'm going to suggest we take Book and the. I don't know. I'm tempted to say the platinum disc, but I'm not sure. The rogue in me says that literally connects to the Dude's bank accounts.
Could connect to many things.
I mean,
And
Could
we
be
charge
useful
it
for
for that.
investigation.
we probably, to avoid prosecutions, should handle all of them.
Here,
Well,
Yes.
how about we?
Keeping his book if we could.
How about we do this? We're 2 hours in, so we can go ahead and take our break. Will you guys decide what you want to do with the possible crime stuff you guys stole from someone in the middle of a friggin'.
I mean, we've already paid a fine for breaking an entry.
We disarmed an assailant after subduing him.
That's also fair. Anyways, but let's go ahead and go on break until 15 after, so we can take a nice 10 to 12 minute break, and then we'll come back. How's that sound?
Okay,
Cool.
sounds good.
All right. Stream is supported by you guys, so bits, tips, and subs help make sure we can do this. And the GMs here are literally paid based on what you guys help me to be able to pay them.
How are we doing here? We're at
In the meantime,
We're at 0.
I'm gonna go get something to drink because
V. Oh,
I see bits though. I see some bits in the cup here.
well, I'm going to go put the kettle on.
Well, that was eventful.
Yeah.
Why are you guys stealing stuff?
I think as far as tipping goes, there's something. Yeah, if you scroll down from the video, there's a thing that says "tip the streamer." I think that's where it is.
Yes, straight down. Directly below where it says about Fiora. And that's assuming they can hear us. She might have turned off the audio.
Maybe.
And that's assuming they can hear us.
No,
Here,
they,
They can
I'm gonna
hear us.
cheer.
Hey, I'll be right back.
All right.
Whee!
I'm gonna cheer a bunch of undead bits. Rip cheer.
The stream
I think it'll send here in a
grenade
second.
has been armed. 5 seconds until detonation.
Merry Birthmas.
Usually takes a second. I had to get the bits first. Ah, there it is. Oh, it only sent one little. Ah, it only sent one little. One little thing. I should have sent a whole bunch. Fill up that cup with tiny bits. A million little zombie hands poking out.
Yes, that's why people
Whoa!
tend to do like
Whoa! Whoa! Wait a minute there. It's everybody's favorite Griffin. Donating $50.
Oh,
Yo, you
jeez.
just paid everybody's salary.
Well, thank you very much for that.
Awesome.
That's a lot
All
of
right,
money
I
to
will
throw
be right
around.
back. Because Miss K is one of our best and brightest. A true shining star. Anyway, okay, I will be back in a minute.
What do you mean I'm one to talk, Cinder? It wasn't that much. I don't have an appropriate Well, I suppose it's only me then. So how are all of you doing? Man, lacking words today.
I am doing fine.
Oh, Mary's here.
Yep, just gotta grab the sandwich to eat.
Ah, fair enough. I'm so quiet because she doesn't usually balance my microphone because I'm not one of the actual players. And also is a little far away from my mic.
Yeah, well, you're still important.
I mean, fair, but I don't usually have a speaking role unless it's a break.
Hello. What's going on? Who's not important?
Someone was asking why I was so quiet, and I was informing them that I don't usually have a speaking role.
Oh, right. Yeah, we didn't equalize Razzles just because normally he chimes in whenever there's a specific ruling, but we usually just do that in the channel.
Yes.
Yep.
Anyway, welcome back, you three.
Hooray.
So I'm glad I didn't go for lawful good.
Don't worry, we'll get you in. I know when we're gonna have you in. I know you haven't done a lot today, but at least it gives you a little bit more of an inkling of what you're gonna have to be dealing with until you die.
It was quite the party.
Oh no, I'm just imagining being bludgeoned to death by things throwing silver ore at me in a mine.
Okay, so write that down. You want your death to be from bludgeoning to death from silver. Okay, I have that written down.
So you're gonna bludgeon him to death with treasure?
Yeah.
Money fall, everyone dies?
Yes, money falls, everyone dies.
That sounds like a weird wish spell where you go, I want 1,000,000 gold pieces, and you get crushed by 1,000,000 gold pieces.
That sounds like something the Deck of Many Things would do.
Probably.
Have you ever seen the Leprechaun movies?
Yes. Well, the first two. I don't think I've seen the third one.
I can't remember which one it is, but one of them wishes for the gold, and the pot of gold materializes in their belly.
Oh, God. The Wand of Wonder. It is a very interesting thing.
So it sounds.
Okay.
Never seen it in use.
That's really wonderful, Dazzle.
Give me a minute. I was about to say something specific, but I didn't want to. Oh, you posted it.
You could say it's an interesting, wondrous item.
Yes. It let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't it doesn't seem dude, I am going to beat you to death.
Okay, I just want to point out I can't actually broadcast a live murder.
Okay, Razzle, go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
Are you sure? My character's really good at it.
But yeah, the wand has an effect where you roll a d100, or rather, yeah, just roll a d100 and something. Actually, either you roll it or I roll it, and then something happens.
Good grief! Got fairy fire and stinking cloud in this thing.
It has a lot.
So it's
Lightning
basically
bolts.
a wild magical sorcerer.
70s to 70s.
Well,
Oh shit! Fireballs in there.
It's basically like giving someone a less dangerous deck of many things that doesn't really have a chance of instantly killing the player.
I mean, what would be hilarious is a wild magic sorcerer using it. And it procking at the same time.
Oh yes. Anyways, we're about to hit back.
But yeah, potentially, Mary could have cast us Fireball.
Have him be scared of it.
So was that what actually happened in that fight? Was that the Duke just waved it at us and Fireball happened to be the result?
Yeah, he made it look as if he was able to cast the spell himself to make it. He basically makes himself look like he's an amazing wizard, but it was just a stupid wand.
Are we?
Wow.
resuming,
So
or
wait,
we're still
are you
doing
saying
this?
that Mary got
Yeah, we're-
murdered on accident
Yep.
by the wand of wonders?
By the
Oh,
wonder
that's
wonders
rough.
that he was waving
What?
around recklessly.
Hold up. What'd you say, Fiora?
So we're just talking, right? We're not resuming because chat's like the break screen is still up, and I'm like the GM hasn't told me we're resuming yet, so the break screen's still up.
I'm waiting for Mary's camera to pop back on.
Yes, I still think he's
Alright.
taking his damage or something.
Oh, I just heard his voice. All right, I think we're good.
Till I see his face, we ain't good.
I mean, that's true.
Oh,
Oh, by the way, do you all like the Sailor
Is that a Brussels
Jupiter?
sprout?
Do you all like the Sailor Jupiter hoodie on my chair now?
It's perfect.
It's a kobold cabbage, don't you know?
That's sweet.
So
Brussels
we've got
One
Kobold
we,
cabbage.
so we've got Akira in the top left and Sailor Moon in the bottom right.
Well,
It's a
no,
kobold.
no. I looked at Cinder and went, "Why did someone get me Sailor Jupiter?" And she's like, "Because you would throw a bitch off a cliff and then turn around and crush someone with your thighs." Okay, that's fair.
It's oh my god, I can't even do the voice.
That's very accurate.
All right, we are good. Yeah,
Then
I mean,
shall mute back up.
Yeah, we've still technically got another minute of break left, so
It's kobold cabbage. It's so good for you. Old
Is-
Granny
hold
Kobold
on.
is giving you veggies.
Hold on, kobold cabbage. Is that cabbage grown by kobolds or cabbage made of kobolds?
Cabbage
It's
grown by
both.
kobolds.
It's both. Kobolds are really weird.
I'm just
so
imagining
how sorry.
cheese and Brussels sprouts. I do not want to be sleeping in the same room as some.
all right, we are good. So, you guys had a little bit of time. So the big question on everyone's minds would be: Are you all going to? What are you going to turn in from the stuff you took from him?
Well, by the sounds of it, the book is a given.
Mm-hmm. That is the
I'm
thing that
kind of
Derek-
50-50 on that credit card.
Euchris votes yes on the card if we're in the voting mood.
Mary votes hand everything in because the Inquisitor is scary, and then ask what we can get back. And
That's a
if we
really
don't
good
get it
idea.
back, we could always argue the law, because the way it seems now, crime really pays. You steal what you want and then pay a small fine.
Okay, well,
No. At the moment, we've only been fined for being somewhere we shouldn't be.
And
alright,
break.
so I go turn in stuff. Okay.
I'll keep you company, Scooter.
Okay. So you two are gonna. What are you guys turning in everything then?
So Scooter shows up, knocks on the door again.
Well, I mean, give me a second. So you guys, of course, come out, and still a little bit of damp water on the ground, and you can smell like a weird hint of lavender in the air, and it's almost like someone's been just walked through here with incense. It's very odd. The sky has little traces of purple in the clouds, and the purple seems to be moving elsewhere in the city as you guys are making your way over to the Lawmaster's office. Anyways, yes, you guys make it to the Lawmaster's office.
Mark will knock this time.
Yes.
Hello, Templar.
Come in. What do you do now?
Apparently the big bird had a bird brain moment speaking to you earlier.
Well, no, I just forgot who had stuff. So here is book.
All right.
Here is platinum disc thing.
All right.
And here is arms and legs of necromancer.
What?
That's amazing.
I assume you need purify so he doesn't get back up.
You disemboweled the corpse of someone?
No.
No, it still has its bowels intact.
I dismember. I assume you need purify so he doesn't get back up.
Can we roll something?
Mark is going to slowly sidestep away.
Are you rolling the amount of damage he took from the face palm that he just did?
No, he was making a decision. You said this was from the necromancer, correct?
Yes, Trevor, the dumb necromancer, one who know animate Greg?
This actually might be useful.
But I figure you need purify or necromancer get back up in that problem.
Well, yes, but remember when we were dealing with Mary, we can speak to the dead, and we can force them to give us answers. We can use this to get answers from him to figure out what that artifact was he used. This is actually really useful. I mean, I do not condone the fact that you cut him into pieces, but I mean...
He was alive when I cut in pieces.
That doesn't make it any...
He was capable, he was self-defense.
He was self-defense. Great. All right, then. So, because I lost...
Very specific legal argument that he was self-defense.
Well, what he has done, under law, he would have been killed anyway. I'm giving you a lot of leeway here. But we can use these pieces to be able to bring his spirit to look at it.
If I may, when you bring his spirit back, have somebody interview him that can deal with somebody who has a rather advanced opinion of his low abilities.
Well, we ask questions and he answers the questions. It doesn't matter what his personality was, he has to answer them truthfully. That's how the spell works.
I don't mean offense, and I not smart, so I just go off experience. Necromancers get back up sometimes. Need to make sure they don't.
Yes, I think Garrick's aware of that.
Trust me, we have plentiful ways of making sure the undead don't get back up. He kind of reaches into his, underneath his armor, and he pulls out, like, his cross necklace. He's like, we could do things to make sure they don't. Trust me on that one. Just because, call it a morbid curiosity. You're not carrying around any more body parts, are you?
Scooter checks her bag. Nope.
Wait, you had to... What the hell were you even doing before we met?
Carrying body parts.
Escaping slavers? Dealing with bounty hunter?
Wow.
What? Monsters no like escape slaves. It set bad precedent.
Oh boy. All right, then.
Templar, I'm with you on this one.
No, it's look, the problem is, the reason I'm giving you so much leeway is you're under me, and anything you do affects me. So
look, I'm not smart. I sorry if put you in awkward or awful position.
All right. I'll take the body parts and these things, and we'll do what we're going to do. I'm not sure what this card is, but the tome can be useful.
I think one of our more magic-y types said it has got a conjuration spell on it.
We'll look at it. But we'll be able to give this to the Inquisitor. He's been making his rounds around town, as far as I'm sure.
Yes, he spoke to our host earlier.
Only 2 deaths so far. Hooray. The
That's-
flame be praised.
That's lenient of him.
Maybe. Anyways, thank you for the information. And Scooter, you may not think you're smart, but you're doing the right thing. So thank you. Please get out of
Okay.
my office.
Yes, let's, before we make you regret life even more. Come on, Scooter. Let's go and find a bed
Scooter
so it's fresh for tomorrow.
shrugs, smiles at the paladin. Thank you for leeway. I learn quick though, and then leaves.
Just kind of pats her on the back as we walk out the office.
He is going to spend the remainder of the evening getting those body parts somewhere.
There's got to be a cleric somewhere that's responsible for this.
Oh my god. I wasn't expecting you to just say, hey, here's some body parts from a necromancer.
No
All
one
right.
I mean, it turned
So-
out to be really useful. He does have
Oh,
sleep
yeah.
with them. So,
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, it turned out to be pretty useful. That's going to help. Templar is completely regretty in his spaghetti. Yes, that's very accurate. Anyways, so, is there anything else you guys want to do for the evening?
Mark's just going to face plant the bed.
Fair enough. Anyone else doing anything else before you guys hit the hay?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Nope.
Scooter's
All right.
caused enough trauma for the evening.
Anything else, Mary?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Gonna take an
You
early
got-
night.
Okay. You guys all go to bed for now. Yes, collectively screaming to their pillows. Perfect. It is now the next morning. You all are awoken by knocks at your doors.
Mark
Oh.
gets up, gets cleaned, and then puts on some very uncharacteristically smart clothing.
Okay. As you guys are noticing, there's a guard that's knocking on your doors to get you guys ready to go to the trial area.
Someone open that door, please.
Eucharist gets it.
You're
I
the
thought
best.
we were all in separate rooms.
You are.
Eucharist is awake, and he gets it for Mary.
You walk past the guard and open the door. The guard just kind of looks down. Right.
I help.
Right. You all wanted at the trial, Colt House. Do you know the way, or do you need an escort?
Ooh,
Apparently
I
it's
want escort,
2
please.
buildings over from Garrick's office.
All right. Well, this one wishes for an escort. Anyone else?
We should probably freshen up some before. Shouldn't we?
Mark steps out of his room in fine quality clothing.
Scooter steps out of her room in her normal armor, not quite understanding the point of nice clothes.
Right. I'll be outside the front of the tavern. Go ahead and meet me when you're there, when you're ready, and we shall head there with post haste. The Inquisitor is on his way. He's not there yet. He said he had something he had to do, unfortunately.
I feel sorry for the poor sap.
Anyways, the guard's going to be waiting outside, and when you guys are ready, you guys can head over
So
to
don't
the
have
to the temple. Oh, not really temple, the courthouse.
Mark will grab a quick breakfast to go sandwich.
All right, fair enough.
Buddha will eat a proper breakfast and be confused about why they think she needs escort.
I will now allow you guys to see the set over.
Why do I feel like we're about to step into like the courthouse scene from Chrono Trigger?
That's what I feel like too. Oh my god, that's so funny. I'm ready for all of the people that we wronged to come forward and be like, they stole my burrito. They didn't pet my cat.
For the time being, I'm probably just gonna turn off the dynamic lighting for here because it's not necessary.
All right.
That's her, officer! She stepped on Trowfaz! Dog has a permanent bow in its back.
There we go. Hopefully you guys should be looking at the current map. Let me know if you guys can see everything.
I'm good.
Perfect. All right. You guys are motioned in. The guard is going to bring you up to the front seats. He's going to set you guys right up here in the front.
All right.
As you guys come in, you do see. I really probably should have removed one of his legs, but I decided not to because it would have been funny. So if you guys notice, if you scroll up, the Duke is over on the left-hand side. Beside him is Garrick with his weapon out, just making sure he doesn't do anything. You can see the guy has a band over his mouth, so he can't say anything, so he can't speak any arcane words. Hands are behind his back, and he's basically just tied down to the chair that he's on. Behind you guys is the tavern owner. He's already there. He had locked up after you guys left. There's a couple nobles, couple random people that are inside there, and 2 guards. And currently, it looks like you guys are waiting for the Inquisitor to show up. So if you guys want to talk amongst yourself while he's showing up, or if you guys want to look at anything, just let me know.
I'm going to look around. I mean, it's probably not Mark's first time sat in a courthouse.
How he's supposed to defend himself if he tied up and gag?
He'll be permitted to speak if it's appropriate.
I mean, they might be me. They making him look pretty guilty before. I get he guilty. I'm just saying they making him look pretty guilty before they even come talk.
We're dealing with somebody who, in theory, with the slightest gesture or the slightest noise, could cast a spell that would do harm to somebody or allow his escape. You've got to be careful with magic types.
Scooter shrugs and goes, I guess.
Yes, we are a wily bunch.
Looks down at Ukriz. No, you wily. He dick.
I did hear once the saying that where there's a will, there's a way. The less way there is, the better chance we've got of keeping him here long enough to actually deal with him. But yeah, I mean, I imagine there's a command or something on that gag that allows him to speak non-magical words when commanded.
You guys hear Asher kind of speak up from behind you. You guys never seen a Thrain type of thing like this before, have you?
No.
Not Thrain. I've seen when the Royal Court in Seer passed judgment.
Scooter turns her head. I've never been in courtroom.
Yeah. It works a bit different. when the Inquisitor's involved. I mean, if you guys,
Everything's different when he's involved.
I mean, if you're hoping for this to be fair, it's not going to be fair at all.
Again, show trials, tools of politics the world over.
Yeah.
Why even have trial then? Why not just take him outside, line up bunch crossbows, and shoot him off wall?
It makes the public feel satisfied that they live in a country where if they behave, then they will be looked after. It also, when dealing with nobility, it helps them feel that the crown is not going to just jump on them because they said the wrong thing in court.
Okay, I might be dumb, but this don't
Pol-
make this
Politics
no,
doesn't make sense.
It's okay. I don't understand either, Scooter.
this no make me feel safe. This make me feel like I should leave.
Yeah, that's
Welcome to Thrain.
not to be here in the first place. I agree.
Okay.
Just
As you guys are
calm, sit quietly, and answer truthfully, and we will all step out of here safely.
Right. As you guys are talking, you see the familiar sight of the lanterns and such begin to flicker and dim, about 50% dim. The guards are kind of looking around, and the
Flair for dramatic.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was going to say the lights have dimmed. Is it popcorn time?
Yes. And all of you again begin to hear the familiar sound of rain begin to trickle out.
Does Raymond Bloom just follow Guy?
Makes
Yeah.
it easy to find.
But he's doing his
Flair.
job.
For dramatic. Oh, Euchres appreciates very much.
Okay. You guys hear the door begin to creak open as he arrives.
I need to clarify something. Before, when we opened it, did the door glide on oiled hinges, and now that he's here, somehow it creaks?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I love this NPC so much.
You can
Yes.
certainly see why Daz likes him.
He's a
amazing.
he's a very showman, weird guy. Anyways, so the door just opens very slowly. Just oh, there it is. Finally found it. He walks forward. As he's going forward, you can see like the flame it's really difficult for the flame to keep up. But he eventually walks over to the front, and I can't make him sit down in the chair.
Press and hold Alt as you're dragging him.
Oh, really? Oh, Alt. I'm dumb. There we go. Perfect. All right. He sits down. He begins working on some paper. You all can smell the very faint smell of blood coming from him. As he was walking, it looks like he was leaving a couple footprints. Looks like he just got done doing something.
Can I see any blood
Wow.
around his cane?
Go ahead and do your perception.
No.
None. He sits
No,
down.
I'm too busy kind of keeping my eyes down and being respectful.
Yes, Mary. You were allowed to take your normal stuff inside the courtroom.
Lovely.
which was a little strange. But as you're noticing, the guards and everyone has their weapons, so you had to do something pretty stupid when you're surrounded by weapons.
Absolutely.
Surrounded by
Anyway.
weapons in a courthouse where everybody's expecting the mage on trial to do something stupid.
Right. He sits down, gets out his paper, and begins reading through it. We are here to showcase the guilt of one Duke Orator Landfan Vormap Dav Kim, as well as those guilty by proximity and knowledge of these events. Hereby, this list of 17 individuals shall be granted the same sentence as today's accused. I shall hear further evidence by those who put a stop to him. Come in any order you wish. For those who speak, step forward one at a time, please.
Euchris immediately jumps up and goes, "Ooh, me, please."
Okay. Go ahead and go forward.
Well, if we're going to get this train wreck started...
Scooter looks at the three
Euchris
of
is so excited. He just wants to be involved. Where does he go? He doesn't know where to go. He stands up and kind of like looks around like, oh.
Your motion. Sorry, go ahead, Scooter.
Scooter looks at the three of them. I think I'll go last.
Yes, probably a good thing.
All right, Ukriz, you go basically right there, and he stops you as you go forward. Full name.
Okay. Euchris. Hang on, I have a full name for him somewhere. Euchris Very.
Trade.
Artificer.
House of origin, if applicable.
My house. Oh, no house.
What is your evidence? Do you have anything to show for the accused?
Oh, no. I have statement. Is this what you want?
I shall ask the questions then. What were you doing there?
We were working for Mr. Boss Garrick. He, excuse me, pal, Knight Templar Garrick. We, were requested to investigate, goings-on relating to, zombie invasion.
You hear a bit of a murmur from the crowd as you mention zombie invasion.
Is not everybody aware that we're being invaded by zombies? That the city is literally surrounded by zombies?
Garrick kind of said to not tell anyone about it. But it's fine.
Isn't there literally a horde of zombies outside the walls?
It was being covered up as a military exercise.
But there's literally a horde of zombies outside the wall. I don't know how you hide that.
No.
People can go to the wall and go, look at the zombies.
Except they can't because the walls had been I forgot what you call it now, but basically no, you couldn't go to the walls.
Oh,
you couldn't
okay.
go to that area of the countryside around the city because
it's fine though.
I the player forgot that was not common knowledge. I thought everybody was aware that we're under siege.
Oh no, it's fine.
Okay.
I see. And what did you find when you entered his abode?
At first, nothing. But quickly, strange things. Werewolves first, but not regular undead. Strange. They have bones missing. And, then secret basement underneath house contained awful torture chambers, with undead experiments inside, and other necromantic things.
I see. So you saw firsthand his atrocities, correct?
Oh, yes, terrible. Oh, I almost threw up. Very gross. Not okay. Had undead werewolf pinned to table with implements, torturing, but it was undead. Torture never stopped, just pain for pain's sake.
I see. Is there anything else you wish to add?
Well, he also killed my friend Mary, or, well, tried to.
Yes, I'll get to that when I speak with the gentleman. If there's nothing
Okay.
else, if there's nothing else, please have a seat.
No. Oh, yes, okay, thank you.
Which of you four will speak next?
Mary looks to Taylor, to Mark. Which of us?
Sorry, bear with me. I'm trying to find something that I'm going to need that I've forgotten. Do you mind?
Mary.
Do you mind going first?
Of course.
You're going up?
Yep.
Please step forward.
He does so.
Full name?
Mariadoc Weinbach.
Trade.
Wizard.
House, if applicable.
I don't think it is, but my family name is Weinbach.
I am to understand he killed you, for my own knowledge. How did he do this?
He threw a fireball.
And how did that affect you? You died. I assume there's no lingering effects?
I don't exactly feel healthy right now, but hopefully that will go away. Still a bit stiff from being stiff, you know.
As he's looking at you, you see him pull up what looks like a walking cane that's kind of affixed to his right arm. And as you say that, he opens it slightly and it glimmers, and he closes it, puts it back down.
Interesting. Well,
That's so cool.
you're in luck, Mr. Weinbach. Due to a law set back from the previous king, Thalin Wynon, in normal circumstances, your family would be privy to any and all property and wealth of the individual found guilty of murder. So congratulations. His property is yours to do with as you please. You may have a seat.
I think you just got a house.
Mary is the boss.
I think you did just get a house.
That was almost worth getting killed for.
We can turn the torture room into a blacksmith and magical crafting room.
We're going to have a lot of cleaning to do down in that torture room. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Who is speaking next?
Mark would get up.
Okay.
Full name?
Mark gives his half-elf name. That's what I was trying to look up because I couldn't remember what it is and I can't find it. So the others will notice that Mark doesn't answer his name as Mark.
Okay. His head tilts slightly as he brings the blade back up and opens it slightly.
I see you're being honest for once. Trade?
I hold several, most notably that of Taylor and that as an investigator.
House, if applicable?
By Mark House Medani.
Do they know you're here?
I have not spoken with a representative of Madani for quite some time. I do not know what they are aware of regarding myself.
Is there a reason that you do not keep in contact with your house? Isn't it important?
My father wished me to take up as a tailor rather than following my mother's footsteps as an investigator. It's because of that I've had a complicated relationship with my house.
I see. Well, don't worry too much about it. I'm sure if you find anyone in town, they can find a seer for you. Do you know what I'm talking about?
That I believe so.
I would keep any conversations you have with and about a seer to yourself then. You may sit down.
Will nod and return to his seat.
And the last of you? Full name, please.
Scooter of Clan Roadrunner, former slave to Zorchilik.
What is your trade?
Blacksmith and siege engineer.
Do you have a house that you are wrapped up with? And by house, I mean, are you engaged in any specific type of craftsman hall? Or do you just do your blacksmithing on your own accord?
I believe the term is unemployed.
Interesting. Do you have anything you wish to add to what happened on that night?
I regret that a guard was caught in crossfire. And oh, right. When found out, the accused immediately resorted to attempting to murder all of us, not just my friend Mary.
That is a good thing to let me know.
He,
immediately.
I believe his exact words were, "You're not going. I'm now going to kill all of you." At which time he sicked his. I was unaware you could make werewolves undead, but yes, those things on us.
Yes. All right then. I'll come back to you, Miss Scooter. Please have a seat. Actually, yes, have a seat. I believe we've heard enough. You see him start writing some stuff down on one of his parchments for quite some time. Then he stands up. After hearing all the information given to me as Inquisitor, I hereby sentence Duke Orator Landfan von Mop Dagvim and all who are his accomplices, be them close family members, associates, anyone in which have been deceived to hide any of his information, to death. I am also to understand that you, Miss Scooter, have asked for special privilege to be this one's executioner. Is that correct? Oh, she's gone.
Yeah, her phone rang.
Yeah, give me a minute. We'll wait.
Uh,
I'll have to say that
You,
again.
Chris.
Was she gone throughout that whole thing? I probably have to say it again.
Yeah, I think she was.
I'll say it again.
You
It's
could-
fine.
Euchris has a
Sorry.
question for the Inquisitor now.
After I'll say my speech again, just so Fiora can hear it.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go ahead and say it again, just so Fiora's back. Hello, Fiora. Welcome back.
Apologize, someone was at the door.
That's fine. All right, let me go through the thingies. I wasn't aware you were gone, so give me a minute. After hearing all the information given to me, as Inquisitor, I hereby sentence Duke Orotor Lon Fan von Mop Dagvim and all who are his accomplices to death. This includes all family members, any who he is associated with that may know what he's been doing. I am also to understand that you, Miss Scooter, have asked for special privilege to be the one to execute the Duke. Is that correct?
Yes, I would like to be allowed direct payback for his injuries and for the actual murder of my friend.
Knight Templar, bring him forth. Miss Scooter, he is yours to do whatever you please. You see Garrick bring him over and moves him on his knees just in front of everyone. And you're free to take a swing. As long as you don't roll a 1, it's going to be an instant crit because he's a helpless target. Oh, you rolled a crit anyways. Okay, cool.
Not like a double crit?
Yeniga, can I like roll 20? Can I roll below a 19 tonight? That'd be great. Thanks.
This is
All
the
right.
cleanest execution in history.
I know. It's okay. So you walk over and he kind of looks up at you, and with a flash, just the head just body falls down.
I can imagine the head just kind of stays there suspended for a second, not kind of gravity, not quite realizing that it's got full control over this head yet. And then, like you say, it just drops.
Mm-hmm.
Eucharist
So-
looks away.
Yeah, he's gone.
Say 9 wasn't even a bad roll off of a d12 as well.
No.
This meeting is hereby adjourned, Mr.
Oh.
Yes?
I have a question for you. Sorry to take up your time.
You see Garrick just kind of look around like, why are you talking? And he kind of stands up, step forward.
Oh,
Little one.
yes.
Yes.
Eucharist steps back to the position he was told to go to last time. Eucharist, just curious. When you say, Mr. Eucharist pulls out his tiny book. Orator Lemfin Vormar Dauphin. When you say family, do you mean family that was involved or just all family in general?
All family, and whatever house ship he has for his dukeship will be dissolved.
Oh. May I object?
Interesting. Proceed. What is your objection to my findings?
I think your fighting's very good and right, as long as they did things. I think if they did not know, or perhaps can be proven to not know, maybe banished or not killed.
You're saying I should look deeper into the laws of Thrain and to every single one of these family members for a fair retribution? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, that sounds very good. Yes, you are very smart and wise.
Roll persuasion. I'll give you advantage because you've brought up an interesting point.
Hey, all right, let's go. Here we go. Let's go. Character sheet. Okay. Persuasion. Not the best at this, but fingers crossed. Here we go.
I mean, you've got advantage.
Why do I think by stress alone?
Well, that's a 20, and that's a 12. Okay, so I'll take the 20.
Okay. The rest of the courthouse is like deathly quiet. The two guards are just like, the fuck is that kobold doing? And he goes, interesting. All right. I will look into it further.
Oh, that sounds very exciting and good. Yes. You are very wise and very smart.
The kobold's not dead.
He holds up like you're noticing that his hand when he holds it up, it does have like small like little claws on it, but he's wearing like a very thick glove. Go ahead and roll a perception for me.
Okay. Perception. Not good at this, but here we go. Oh, it's a 3 again.
It's
Look
a glove.
at that. It's an amazing glove. Euchres really likes his clawy gloves. It's good.
So, my question to you then would be, since you raised this objection, would you be opposed to assisting me in looking through them?
Oh, not at all. This if it means that guilty ones get punished and not guilty ones don't accidentally get killed in process of investigation, then this good. Yes.
So be it.
Oh, excellent. Good. Very good. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Euchris turns around and he's like, he didn't know kobolds could sweat, but he has discovered that he can.
Step forward. Euchris.
Oh, wait.
Come here.
Okay. Oh, Euchris steps forward then. Euchris turns back around and goes, yes.
He reaches over and he hands you a medallion.
What? Okay. What's on the medallion?
You're noticing that there's some on his person. There are specific symbols that you're unaware of. It looks like a weird mix of very old draconic is on him. It's so old though that you can't seem to read it.
Oh, it's really old draconic then.
Yes, it's really old. Like almost like I'd say 2 millennia old.
Okay. All right. Euchris goes, ooh, thank you. What is it?
For the time being, consider yourself a inquisitor in training.
Euchris goes, oh, okay. Euchris puts on the medallion.
Okay.
I understand that you will be in Thrain for a little bit longer. I'll keep in touch. Some of the individuals on my list no longer live in this city. Perhaps I could send you out to gather information to make it quicker.
Oh, we go many places. Yes, Mark and Mary and Scooter and I, and new friend too, when he comes.
Then, as my position as Inquisitor, I welcome you as the second in training. Good luck. I'll be watching everything you do. Besides that, please, I look forward to traveling with you on the lightning rail in a couple of days. I'll meet you there. This court is adjourned. Everyone go back to what you were doing.
Oh, okay, bye. He turns around and starts, like, he's gonna take that as a literal order and is, like, gonna start leaving. He's gonna be like, back to what I was doing.
That 20.
stand there and watch you, Chris, go past, kind of jaw, kind of just somewhere close to the floor.
As he walks by Mark, looks up at Mark and goes,
Scooter blinking.
Something like horror and also like pride.
So you're just like this.
Yeah.
Scooter blinking repeatedly. I'm unsure this. That no one expects Inquisible.
I swear, the lot of you are going to be the death of me.
Death of you? I'm surprised I didn't burst in flame when I walked in.
Yeah, take it from me. That's not an enjoyable feeling.
You would know.
Let's get out of here before we say anything that could incriminate any of us.
All right. As you guys are leaving, one of it almost looks like some sort of dignitary. He actually walks up to you, Mary, and he hands you a deed to that area. As far as what is concerned, that place that used to be a thriving inn is yours, and you guys can do whatever you want with it. You can retrofit it back to an inn to make some income. You can do whatever you want with it, and anything that's inside of it is your guys' property.
Double sweet.
Thank you.
The DC was 20, by the way, to persuade him.
Yes!
What is up? Let's go. All right.
Scooter ushering Kobold and rest of the party out of building quickly.
We leave.
Listen, Euchris has morals, and those morals are people that aren't bad probably shouldn't get murdered because somebody in their family did a bad thing.
Oh, I mean, it's entirely...
But yeah, holy shit. Unintended consequences.
I mean, I know kobolds are used to living around dragons, but that was playing with fire.
As a side note, as soon as they're out of the building, Scooter says a quick prayer to Yenagug. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh yeah. Euchris is glad he's wearing the brown pants today.
So like insert floating Yanugu head looking at the kobold going like, what the?
He good friend, okay? Don't be mad at him.
Euchris is like sending up a little prayer to Eberron, like, oh, please protect kobolds. I am very small and just a kobold, and I do not know what I am doing. They do not pay me enough. Oh, I am just a small kobold, please.
By the sounds of it, that's the one creature that's probably the right one to pray to at the minute.
Look, Yenagug. I agree, not dating crazy kobold, but he good friend, right?
Okay, so you guys do notice that as you're leaving, like all the other people that were in there were looking directly at Euchris, just going like,
what the fuck?
They're all completely surprised that this has happened, and you're also noticing that when you guys go outside, the rain's gone. There's no little purple up. Looks like his job's done, so he's no longer, he's no longer showing off.
So can I just say, Chris just probably added to that guy's legend with that. But you know what I mean? The little kobold, the childlike wonder type, standing up to the big, powerful, mean Inquisitor, and the Inquisitor's like, there is wisdom there. And everybody's just like, what?
In the background, everyone's like, now he's going to be here for months. What have you done?
Anyway, he turned off the rain. It's fine now. No problem, right?
Fine. You can go ahead and add Inquisitor Insignia into your inventory. I'll tell you what it does after the session.
Okay. Holy crap. That's a artifact and a half right there. Jeez.
It's a thing.
Oh, all man. Right. Euchris has like the most illegal thing on his possession too. Oof. Or wait, no, it's not illegal. It's spoils of war, right? we're in Thrain, not in Dwarfland, so
Well,
the dwarves.
here's the thing. Technically, we were kind of breaking the law by holding on to the Duke's stuff. But now that Mary has taken possession of all the Duke's possessions, we're
Yeah,
no
so
not
longer
illegal
breaking
anymore.
the law.
yeah, speaking of which, Mary, when you're given the specific deed, you are given the 25 gold. You have the stuff that you gave Garrick, the tome, or the card, the wand, or whatever.
Nice.
You were given all of that stuff because his stuff is your property now. So you guys, if you want to, could spend the day to yourself. So where are you guys gonna go?
I'm going to encourage Mary to take a look at his new property and go with him.
Sounds like a good idea. And then we share the gains, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, as they sort of walk out of sight of the church, Mary will clap.
Scooter's
Then
going to
Nova
get
appears and flies away.
Scooter's going to get cleaning materials.
Bleach. Lots of bleach.
Lots of
All right.
lots of bleach and lyre.
For the time being, I'm going to go ahead and move the map to the mansion so you can see both floors. Cinder, would you be able to
Sweet.
turn off the lighting here? Because they should be able to see everything, if possible. All right, so you guys are there very shortly.
Cool. So is I see. Okay, so this other side is the second floor. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
the right hand
All
side
right.
is the second floor. You guys didn't even see the second floor.
We
so
did not.
You guys make your way there. You guys have some cleaning supplies and stuff like that. You guys are I should probably remove him. He shouldn't be there. Garrick does not come with the mansion, so he shouldn't be there.
Oh dear.
Do we have an invisible undead werewolf maid that is running
No.
around in there still somewhere?
No.
Did they clean that up for us?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys are in there for a little bit of time, and after about like 20 minutes, you guys hear a knock on the front of the mansion door. Just.
I should probably get that.
At your house, you should get it.
Indeed. Mary opens the door. Yes.
You see Garrick there standing with another individual. Well then, I guess this is yours now, due to that rule that I wasn't aware existed, but I guess that's fine. I'd like to introduce my associate here, Mr. Connor Ryden. He is going to be traveling with you all. I assume that you all would like to look into the goings-on the silver mine up north. Is that correct?
Yes, probably.
Yes, I believe we did promise you that.
All right, then. Please. And when you guys all look, Connor, please describe what you look like.
You see a quite tall human with long black hair tied into a ponytail with a white streak. You'll notice that he's got a huge scar going down the left side of his face. His left eye is milky white. He's powerfully built, but if you look closely, you'll see that he is definitely favouring his right side. He's wearing, Templar chainmail and shields. On his left leg, you'll see a weird Arcana Tech leg brace that whirs and whizzes as he moves. Yep.
You're a you're a paladin, right?
Yep.
You have detect evil.
I have divine sense.
Okay.
Anyways, so he is going to be the eyes and ears of the Silver Flame while you are doing the thing up north. Would you like me to go over it now, or would you wish for me to go over it later when you all get introduced to each other?
Well, let's go over those details now and see where things take us. One thing. Are you aware of any reliable guard services we could employ to look after this place while we're gone?
Oh, well, of course, this place always did have those looking over it. That's not a problem. That won't be an issue, and if you wish to hire anyone to run this establishment, if you wish to do that, then that would be fine. Anyways, so I'll go over the information. To the north, there is between a city named Thaliost and the Silvercliff Castle. It's around the Silver Wood. It's a bit to the north. We have a mine that we primarily use to get most or all of our silver. We haven't gotten any of it in about a week. It's quite a problem, if you can imagine, that we no longer have any of our silver. I would ask all of you to go in that direction. The Inquisitor has asked that you all go with him on the roundabout way of going there, but it's going to take the same amount of time anyways. He wants to go on the lightning rail, so he gets what he wants apparently.
I am very excited to go on lightning rail.
I am getting impression you no like Inquisitor.
Oh no, I don't like him. Boo-hoo. No, I don't like him at all. I don't like that type of...
Euchris gets up and goes, excuse me, kettle left on. Oh, very bad, no. And he's gonna excuse himself from this conversation. As he does so, he's like openly gesturing to the medallion on his chest and being like, shut up, but not saying it out loud.
Oh.
Just,
Look, I'm not.
leaves.
I'm not a huge fan of those who just are able to do whatever they want. The way I see things is you should be flexible with the law, and everything has their own circumstances in which something happens. Maybe the person stole that bread because they needed to feed their family, not because they were stealing it because they wanted to be vile. So there should be difference in opinions on punishments. Right, that's what I believe, and that's what I'm shooting for. But
also, that he operates with impunity regardless of where he is.
Yes, he was decreed the Inquisitor from Thronehold before the nations split, and as law goes, as far as anything is concerned, he has full authority in any nation. It's a bit ridiculous, but not like we can do anything about it.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are there restrictions on who we're allowed to worship in your city?
Oh, it's just another one of those things.
If
in Thrain, we have the flame itself, sovereign host, things like that. I personally believe, just because of my upbringing, I used to worship a dark tyrant, and I converted myself to the Silver Flame. I do not believe that there should be any type of punishment for who you believe in, as long as, and this is a big thing, it doesn't cause you to do things that are going to ruin everything or hurt people. So I'm just going to say, so far you haven't done anything terrible. I think
So
No, the arms and legs are about the worst of it that I know of.
I mean,
So, look, I'm just going to say, and I know that Kana is feeling the same thing I am. We are both aware that you are worshipping something you probably shouldn't be. But again, you've been doing good since you're here. So for the moment, it is fine.
well, no, I just.
Mary, I have just had an idea about what we can do with this place. The
Tell me.
city has a tradition of the tea house. The tea house is a place where you can discuss things which the state does not approve of and not be punished for it. I think this might be a good idea, a good fit for us.
Oh,
I was going to say, is this really the time? But I
All
think you're
right,
nailed it.
Uncle Iron. All
okay,
right,
so-
hold on. All right, Uncle Iron.
no, that is actually true. There hasn't been a tea house in Flame Keep in a while. Yes, that would be perfect. Then we could talk about whatever we want to. I like that. Okay.
You see, Daz, I was paying attention.
Hey, someone read the lore. Awesome. I'm happy. Someone listened to me when I went over stuff. Yay!
So you
All right, then.
make tea house, and I turn downstairs torture place into blacksmith.
Blacksmith is good.
Do you have anyone that you know who would run the establishment? Anyone able to run an inn, or if you know anyone, it would be good.
We really should make more friends.
Well, if you have anyone who has
have an
experience.
Dear, we do
Anyways.
know somebody who was complaining about the rent.
But anyways, let me get back to what I was doing. I have some other things I have.
Yeah,
to do.
wasn't our bartender friend complaining about his rent problems?
Well, anyways, you all allowed to ride on the Lightning Rifle 3. It will take you to Thalios, take about a day or so, because it's a roundabout. Go there, meet with the leader of the city. They will direct you toward the mine, figure out what's going with the mine, get it working again, bring us proof that it's working, give us any information, and each of you will be rewarded 1,000 gold per person. But besides that, I have to go. Connor, make sure to keep note of everything going on, and we'll be looking for your report when you're back.
I'll do as you command. So,
Yes. And Garrick's going to turn and head out.
Ask him about our money.
Is anyone going
Oh
to ask?
yeah,
him
we've still not been paid yet, have we? Excuse me, Templar Garrick.
Yes. Can I help you?
Given all the trouble we've caused, I can see this being a sore point, but I do believe there's an issue of payment for what happened here.
Oh, right. How much did I say I was going to give you?
An arm and a leg?
That's not funny.
Oh god.
It's a little.
It was
Session
2, actually.
2, session 3.
I thought it was.
God arrives, says to Garrick, Inquisitor's on his way. 3 days, 1,000 gold.
I believe it was 1,000 split between you guys. I
Yeah.
believe that's what it was. All right. I'll send a coffer over. I do remember that. All right then. Good luck. Any?
Thank you. And
leaves.
take care, Templar.
I shall try. And he's out. You guys are.
That sounds like
buyers?
200 gold apiece. Let's go.
All right. So you guys are there. You could talk amongst yourself. You
Huge.
guys
you guys don't have anything to do for another 2 days until the lightning rail arrives, and by then you guys will be able to take it all the way north.
So,
So,
did he tell you what you're getting into, or did he just tell you to make sure we didn't do bad things?
I have heard tales.
Euchris comes back out from the library. It's like, is he gone? Are we safe? Am I safe?
you're safe, you Chris. Come sit down.
Based on what
Oh,
I've heard of you, I think you're the most safe of us all.
you're just like, I am not so sure about that.
He's safe until or unless the Inquisitor decides he's not happy, I think.
Oh, please don't say, Inquisitor, anything bad. He said he watched me always. Always.
Yeah, that is unnerving.
So,
Yeah.
With his methods, he has eyes everywhere.
so
I think I am maybe literally eyes now. Euchris holds up the medallion and is like, ah.
So, as for ourselves, we were kind of thrown together in Shadowcar when the ground literally opened up around us and dumped us all in a cave. And since then, we've kind of been doing our best to survive. We literally landed in the cave, ended up fighting a necromancer, had to fight our way out of Shadowcar, ended up standing by Garrick's side against the thing that came out. Arrived here to find, we've got 3 days to resolve this undead thing before the Inquisitor turns up and potentially murders us all.
So a normal Tuesday. Gotcha.
I put it short. They are friends I protect.
Yeah, we're still working out the dynamic of how this is all going to work, but we seem to be stuck together for the time being, at least, and well, we're mostly getting on.
Well, I share many beliefs with Garrick, and I will say that as long as you do not do anything overtly that way, I will be fine.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I mean, I didn't realize we were doing that. Scuda is straight.
What? I do not understand.
He said so long as you don't do anything that way.
Euchris is like, reaches into a pocket and pulls out a tape measure and says, I am very sure, Euchris,
Just
Scuda, you are not
reaches
straight.
out, places a hand over Euchris's tape measure and kind of gestures him to put it away.
Agreed.
No.
Kirby, that's not what she meant.
Okay. Okay.
Calm down, everybody.
I'm gonna make tea. Euchris gets up to go make tea.
Good.
So, yeah, we're kind of bouncing between different jobs at the minute and kind of trying not to land ourselves in too much trouble.
We have been very successful with that.
Yeah, I think Garrick might be regretting that day on the bridge, but
I mean, we did solve the problem for him.
I think it more so long as we less problem than problems we solve, he don't care.
Garrick does have his fair share of problems being in the position he is in and the race that he is. it is regrettable that our faith is rather narrow-minded. When it comes to, suffice it to say, looking at this group, it's been a while since I've seen as a diverse group within these walls.
Well, hopefully we all live to see this a lot longer than we have so far. So, to more immediate matters, and he kind of looks around the room. What do we think? Are we going to go with my suggestion? Has anybody else got any other ideas what we could do here?
I like the tea house one. I mean, we could always set up some entertainment as well.
We need to look into the law of setting a tea house up.
I mean, I like that.
Slash blacksmithing. Go drink some tea while the bird fixes your stuff. It's perfect.
I do not have experience with tea houses, but I am experienced with the running of an inn.
Oh, really?
Nice.
My parents own one.
So someone else whose parents had a mind that they follow a different path to what they ended up choosing.
How so?
My father, if he had his way, I would have still been in Sierra as a tailor when it happened. Wait, Razzle's saying it was 1K per person.
The next one.
What? Oh, that's the next one, is it? Razzle, is that 1K per person for the job we've just done, or is that for the next one?
Well, he paid us 200 and we didn't negotiate.
Garrick's forgetful. That's work.
That was for the zombie job. Oh, Razzle says it was for the zombie job.
Okay. Well then okay. That's fair enough. Then you guys would get that much. I had written down 1,000, but I didn't put down per person, so that's my fault. So that's fine.
Yeah, I made the same error. So
that's why I have someone who's helping me with my notes, because sometimes it doesn't. My notes are terrible.
Have you had a chance to clean this place up yet?
I assume you guys are going to spend some time cleaning everything, especially downstairs. These 2 floors on the top, besides the burn marks and the obvious, stuff that happened with the fight, it's been pretty clean because he's had undead werewolves cleaning everything constantly. So,
Scooter reaches over, hands their new comrade a sponge, and goes, "No, we've been here 5 minutes."
We literally just stepped through the front door and started looking around when you guys turned up.
So, someone lock door. Let's get cleaning.
Yes, let's.
Okay, so you guys are going to spend the better.
I will.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Check upstairs.
Ooh. Okay.
Euchers wants to go upstairs and check it out.
All right, I'll move your
also, Euchers has tea for anybody that wants it.
Anyone's going to have tea. Perfect.
Mark will certainly carry a cup of tea with him.
All right, so you're going to go upstairs. All right, are you just genuinely looking around, or are you going to try to find anything? Are you just doing a general just look around?
Just checking it out, seeing what's what.
Okay.
Euchers can do searching
sweep.
Later.
Yeah, right. Do a general sweep to find out what the lay of the building is.
Okay, second floor is pretty nice. Over in the corner, I'll go ahead and move you to specific areas just so you could make notes if you like to.
Sure.
This area
Yes,
over
I
here,
will.
this is a mirror. It has no reflection. When you look inside of it, it is just black.
The mirror that's on that table right there.
Yes,
Okay.
it gives you no reflection. That's a little weird.
Black mirror. Got it. Sounds like a really good name for some kind of show almost. Somebody should name a show after that.
Next room, you see another one of the lichen pelts on the ground. You see a chest at the foot of the bed. Everything else in this room looks very normal.
Props. I would advise not advertising a better show when you're currently on a show.
I'm just saying, if somebody named a show that'd be a great name for a show. But it's too bad. Anyway.
Oh yeah,
Sounds
Connor.
like
While you're doing that, Connor, you have been noticing, just from your experience, that these are werewolf pelts.
Yeah.
And from your experience, this is not okay that they're around, because you don't do that to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Mark is.
Yeah, Euchris is gonna be. Yeah. Any pelt that Euchris finds, Euchris is going to roll it up and start like dragging it around with him, with the intent to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Am I
Yeah,
muted?
that's
Is this going through? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark will suggest that we stack the rolled up pelts next to the front door for the time being while we figure out what the fuck we're gonna do with them.
What were you gonna say, Connor?
I was just saying, yes, this is very disturbing, considering when lichens die, they revert to their normal form.
Mm-hmm. You're basically, after seeing this, any reservations you had about the guy's guilt, you're like, oh yeah, that guy's guilty.
I mean, you say when they die, but what if you skin them alive?
Exactly.
Yeah, we should probably
Does
have a burial.
Does the Silver Flame have any process to deal with these?
I shouldn't have cut off his head. I should have strangled him.
At least you got his leg first.
Fair. So we'll go through this a bit more. Ukris, while you're going through, this looks like a normal eating area. To the south is a massive bathroom. It's really huge, really nice. And once you get to this part over here, it looks like a storeroom. Has a bunch of different types of boxes, scrolls. And the thing that kind of catches your eye in this room up here is you see this massive green gemstone on a table. It's glowing. It's not really glowing like a sickly color. It's more like it's just emanating like an emerald color. It looks very colorful. Like it doesn't look like, it's not like the other gem where you can tell by looking at it something's wrong. This one's just a normal glow.
Okay, Euchris is super interested in this thing. I will ritual cast some detect magic and see what's going on with this thing.
Okay. It's not magical.
Also, Euchris has decided that this closet is his room now.
Of course. All right. The thing itself is not magical. It just looks like it's very high quality type of gemstone. It looks like he might have been using this to make something, but or he acquired it. But you guys kind of interrupted that whole thing, so you have no idea what it's for.
Sweet. Oh, Euchris loves it. He's gonna leave it right there.
But if we need a massive gemstone for some reason,
sure.
A massive glowing gemstone.
Glow in the dark, eh?
It's decent light. It's like a nice dim light. So I mean, I don't know. Make torches. Who cares? Does anyone else do anything else for the afternoon other than cleaning and drinking tea?
Cleaning.
Yeah, I think cleaning.
Connor will attempt to clean, but quickly people might notice that there's a reason that he favors his right side. He has a rather prominent limp, and his left arm is also very stiff.
All
Are
right.
you right?
I was injured in a battle.
Did they assign crippled paladin because they want us all because they expect us all to get paladin killed? I am sorry that they think so little of you.
Well, if it helps, it seems that myself and the wizard tend to be the first ones to go down, so you're probably fine.
Yeah, maybe we should change that. I mean, not that I want you to get hurt, more that I don't want us to get hurt as much.
Not standing in front of a fireball is a good start.
What?
Learn
Okay.
my lesson.
So Connor, I would say the one thing you are noticing, and you guys also notice it too, about the same time. Connor, as you're looking around, you notice Scuda has the silvered longsword. And you guys notice that he also has a silvered longsword.
Twinsies! Yay! We are more friends now. This is how it works, yes?
Scooter, I must ask, where did you get that sword?
Oh, necromancer's corpse pile. We killed necromancer afterwards.
And you've been carrying it around since?
And using, yes. It's useful.
I agree, they are useful. They are also, can I get a good look on it? Can I actually see the glyphs and stuff that she hasn't scraped off?
Do a perception as you're looking at it with advantage because you have one of your own.
All right, let's see if I can do these rolls.
Good luck. Nah, you should be fine.
Wow.
You know, everybody's been really having a rough time with the perception. I got a 3 on the gloves.
Well,
I mean, it's a good job it's with advantage, so you can roll again.
Yeah, you get to roll twice.
Yeah. Oh, let's go. Ah,
well, roll
slightly
20.
Okay. It looks like an unadorned weapon. So you can't tell whether this was actually military inlaid into someone's gravestone or if she just found it in before it was fully crafted. So to your knowledge, it's fine if she has it.
All right. I will just say that the silver blade is a symbol of somewhat importance in Frame.
I gather that. I kind of want to remake it into big angry axe.
You know, there are things you just don't admit to openly like that.
But
things that ask for trouble.
Yeah, we found it in Necromancer Trevor's lair. The guy who could summon Greg, not summon dead.
No, he was summoning undead. They were definitely skeletons whose skulls are popping off.
Yeah, but didn't he have like spellbook upside down? Or was it backwards?
Actually, if he held the spellbook upside down, it would have helped him because the spell was written upside down in the book.
Anyway,
yeah. Connor, you have no idea what you just got yourself into.
Look, I'm not bright. I know I'm not bright, but I know I remember good.
But yeah, he was. He was not a good necromancer, but he could do the basics from what I can see. Somehow.
Well, touching him was the right thing to do. Necromancy is up there in the evil things.
It's pretty far up there.
just kind of getting near the top.
All right. So
I like him. We get to keep him, right?
he's the new Phil. He's the replacement Philip.
Soul Philip. Speaking of which, anyone feel like we should do something nice for his wife? Like, leave a donation of money or something?
Oh, I already remember we sent his belongings to wife, and we put extra money in belongings,
Yeah, right.
and we agreed. We are not going to imply he had an affair.
With the bird. Yes.
He didn't.
Very important.
Connor has a confused look on his face.
Oh my god. So, is there anything else you guys would like to do for the evening?
I mean,
Chris wants to evaluate the value of that gem.
Okay. Let me see here. Make sure I got the right things. You should be able to appraise it, but I forget if that's an actual thing.
If I had jeweler's tools,
Do you have
I
jeweler's
could
tools?
appraise them.
You can just make a straight,
but
make
I
a straight-
could make them.
Sure, you could try to make yourself some jeweler's tools. I was going to have you just roll a basic wisdom to see if you can determine the value.
Sure. It takes me an hour of uninterrupted work to create the jeweler's tools, so I can do that.
Okay, yeah, that'll work. While they're talking, I'll go ahead and say that you're able to do that. So go ahead and you can use the jeweler's tools, so your wisdom plus your proficiency to try to determine the value of the crystal.
Okay. Okay, wisdom plus proficiency. Wisdom's not my greatest, but here we go.
Razzle's saying investigation
There it goes.
or identify spell for an appraisal.
I don't think it's magic, is it?
No, it's not magic. Well, either
So,
way,
okay.
14 is good enough, anyways. This is not a gemstone that you have ever seen before, so you are unable to calculate its value. You have no idea what it is.
Oh.
As far as you can tell from what you've seen with things you've messed with, this might be outside of the material plane that you're currently in.
Oh.
Outside the material plane,
okay,
but
well,
not magic.
It's a non-magical.
Euchris is gonna. Euchris will bring it
Curious.
downstairs and plunk it on the top table and be like, "I found a thing."
So you touch it.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
I mean,
okay.
with gloves on, of course.
Roll a wisdom for me.
Okay. Sweet. Where's my character
Oh,
sheet?
Chris, you are getting in all the troubles.
Regular wisdom or
wisdom save. It's a save.
Oh, hang on a second. I thought it wasn't magic. I checked it with the.
I know
with the
it's
non-magic
not magic.
thing.
This is a natural. This is a
Oh,
natural thing that this thing does.
So good.
So,
Okay.
which plane is Eucharist getting sucked into?
Oh, it's a 9.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh dear.
And that's how Eucharist died.
1 sec. Okay, continue with what you're doing.
Or
I'll note
alternately.
that. I'll note that for later. All right, you take it downstairs.
That's incredibly ominous. Okay. Yeah. Eucharist picks it up. Man, I
Okay.
have tongs and everything, and I didn't even think about that. But anyway, yeah, sure. It's a shiny rock that is non-magical, so Eucharist wouldn't think twice. Yeah,
Well, after
kobold
you
brain
touch it,
here.
after
All right.
you touch it, bear in mind, after you touch it, you feel a little strange, and the glowness is gone. And you bring it downstairs,
weird.
and you
Okay.
guys all see Ukra is holding this really huge, immaculate-looking gemstone. It's massive.
Wow.
Eucharist goes, I found a
I-
thing. Oh,
I-
it was glowing before. Now it is not. Oh, that is probably bad, but no problem. I feel fine.
I'd like to appraise it.
It's just like a few thousand millisieverts that I just, absorbed into my body. No problem.
What is the?
I'm sure.
Hold up. What's going on?
What is?
Fiora?
What is the roll to recognize what this is?
At this point, it would be a religion. Also, Connor,
Religion.
your divine sense is pinging really badly. Whatever this thing is.
I was just about to ask.
Yeah, whatever this thing is counted as incredibly hollowed. It is incredibly evil. And
It's
there's
hollowed
something
and evil?
Yes, and there's
Do
something
you mean
about
desecrated?
Yeah, sorry, desecrated. My bad. There is
Okay,
something
alright.
really bad about this thing. Really bad.
Great.
I hope you didn't. Oh, you touched it. didn't you?
I hope you didn't.
He's like literally holding it, and he's like, "What? What?
That
What?
is very evil.
Oh." Euchre sets it down on the table more quickly and like backs away. Oh, okay. It's fine. I mean, I touch it and it stopped glowing, but I'm sure it's fine. Oh.
Backs away.
Is Eucharist pinging?
Huh.
Ooh, Chris, that's
Um,
like saying you threw cigar into gunpowder room. It's probably okay, but no, it's not.
Ukris,
I mean-
I want you to roll another wisdom as he asks you that question.
You mean the dramatic moment here? Okay, sure. It's an 18.
18? Okay.
18.
You
I'll
blink.
take an 18.
You blink and you feel as if you almost lost consciousness, and you kind of shake your head. It's fine. You're fine.
Oh.
Is he
Uh.
cursed?
Yes, super fine. Everything fine. No problem. Just almost passed out there. No.
Point of
Probably
point,
unrelated. Eucharist has not had enough.
point of phrase. You guys can understand a thing Ukris is saying right now.
Ah.
Do any of you guys understand Abyssal?
Oh, that's great. So Eucharist is like, oh, I was almost about to.
So he's literally talking backwards, upside down, and forwards at the same time.
Hold on. Abyssal or deep speech?
Abyssal.
Okay, no, I understand deep speech.
Okay.
But she will go,
Sorry.
hey, that's the same thing that godparents speak that I don't understand.
Godparent. What?
Attack?
Oh no.
Expressive. Blah, blah, blah.
Eventually, the glow kind of comes back to the gemstone, and Chris, you're able to speak normal again.
Oh, that was very strange. I'm sure nothing bad will ever come of that. Also,
Yeah.
probably don't touch. Euchris reaches into his packet, pulls out some tongs. It's like clack clack.
Yeah.
Sets them on the table next to the gemstone, in case you need to move gemstone for like breakfast.
Yeah, Chris, where you learn
Or
to speak like
customers.
demon?
I do not speak like demon. I do not know what you're talking about.
You sounded very strange.
You sounded very demon to me.
I'm going to peer at
That
it
is
very
not first time Euchris has heard he sounds strange.
What were you saying, Mark?
Now that the glows return, I want to take a very close look at it. Not touching it, but a very close look.
Okay, roll perception. Or actually investigation, because you're looking really hard on it.
My cat is like having a panic attack outside my door. Hang on a second.
I get a thing on my investigation. Hang on.
I don't think it matters. You rolled a crit. Okay, you're making sure not to touch it. And as you look inside of it, you can see a very small image of Ukriz inside of it.
What?
And that's where we're stopping.
This is how Ukriz dies. Amazing.
No,
It's fine. The Inquisitor will probably come up and check it out and be like, "It's okay. I got a solution for this," and then kill you, Chris. That'll that's how that's gonna go down. Junior Inquisitor, you have failed.
So
your inquisitiveness got the better of you.
I would like to thank.
I mean, yeah.
Go ahead.
I'd like to thank Fraser, Pony Chick, Stay Brony, Dragon Wolf, and Zabin for the hosts. Prop Master, yes, in fact, Rip Ukriz. Thank you for the bits. And Miss Gay, thank you for the only tip that I apparently was not present for, but Merry Birthmas to you too. I've been playing Scooter the Dumb One. You guys all get to say goodbye now.
No, I'm sorry. At the moment, I think Euchris takes that particular honor.
All right. We'll start with Final Sight.
What would you say? Final things of our character, right?
Yeah,
So-
just say who you are, who you're playing, and anything else you want to add.
I'm Final Sight. I've been, well, for the final few minutes, I've been playing Corner.
Yep, took us a minute to get. Yeah, I'm sorry for the little wait there, but they had to go through the trial first.
And also, hold on, last comment say, language my godparents said.
Hetty.
Hi, I'm Hetty. I've been playing Mark, and I didn't nearly die in this session.
That's what you think. Kung.
Yeah, I'm Kung, and I'm playing Mary, who apparently got a new house today.
You got a freaking mansion, man. Oh man. Props.
I'm Props. I've been playing Inquisitor Junior Grade Euchriz, the Cursed One. I don't have anything else to add after all those titles.
I know, right? And
oh boy.
I'm Prince Dazzle, DM, giving these guys a fun little roller coaster ride, going through all the nonsense. They keep on touching things. And convincing
I tell
people
you,
that
this party has no sense of self-preservation.
okay, that's fine. And again, we had Cinder doing technical things whenever we need to get something to help, especially with the lighting. We have DJ Flawless does all the music and all the background sounds, and we have Razzle who sits with the specific maps and those things. And again, this going forward, we're going to be using maps from Forgotten Adventures. That's the assets that we're using. And that's pretty much all I got.
Okay, well, we're going to go raid a friend of mine, Matty Moore, because I met him back in February last year. In
Well, literally
person.
just before everything got.
Yeah. Yeah. He sold a couple of my books too. Like in his shop and gave one away. In the meantime,
Nice.
good night everyone.
Good night.
Have fun.
Good night.
You know.
Don't break any laws now.